right in your particular area. We have a few more minutes before those games kick off. So, Aaron, Irv, let me ask you, and Irv, I will start with you, the impact of the professional strike on college football, and what are the pro players thinking right now about the publicity they're not getting as athletes?
Yeah, I tell you, Brent, as far as college football is concerned, college football and the pros have always competed against each other, and they are concerned about, but the biggest concern right now is Major League Baseball. Going into the baseball series, there's always a sort of a macho sense of pride that pro football is the nation's #1 spectator sport, but now baseball is beginning to come into the limelight once again.
And Aaron, how about the impact on the college game?
Well, I'm a football fan, whether it be pro ball, college ball, high school ball. But I'll say this, the fact that they're on strike has amplified the interest in college football, which is a part of my game for 25 years. So I think it's been great. Here we are seeing Division III on football on a Sunday, and, of course, great interest in what's happening at the college level. So I would say it's been great for college football. They have not suffered from it.
No, they sure haven't. Irv, you have been close to the negotiating down in Washington. Any optimism for this week?
None at all, Brent. Of course, the owners are going to meet tomorrow in New York to try to map out their strategy from this point on. There may be a major decision coming out of that meeting, but after yesterday's meetings in Washington, when Donnan walked out at 5 o'clock, he said, no matter what goes on here today, we're not going to meet beyond 5 o'clock. Ed Garvey, of course, is disappointed because he felt they were going to stay there and hammer something out until they came up with a decision. It appears that they just don't want to talk to each other.
You know, the coaches have to be frustrated, Aaron. They've got to prepare game plans and then tear them up.
That's why I say if it goes too long, Brent, in my opinion, to try, as a football coach, to get the conditioning back, to get them to work out the way they should, to get the timing, I don't think it can go too long because it'll have a drastic effect, I think, on the execution and the abilities of those players.
Will the kids stay in shape without the coaches?
And in my experience, maybe half of them will and half of them won't, maybe 60%. But people are not always motivated to keep in great shape, and when you have a compulsory practice, they have to go, then the coach can work with them. But there's a lot of them, when it's not compulsory, won't go.
It is time now to start those other Division III games that I referred to, and we'll do that right after these messages from your local stations.
Fly the friendly skies of United, the consistently good airline.
I admire an outfit that delivers with consistency. It brings the sweet smell of success.
Sexual harassment in a coal mine? That's the complaint of women coal miners. That's right, women coal miners who say it happens on the job. 60 Minutes tonight on CBS.
J2000 from Pontiac.
Now the excitement really begins.
Now at your Northeast Wisconsin Pontiac dealers, if you're ready for this. Steady Eddie Barnes needs a double-8 to make him the best darn dart player in the county. Looks like a stroll-light night.
Looks like a stroll-light night. Looks like a stroll-light night. When things are going right. Looks like a stroll-light night. Looks like a stroll-light night.
Stroll Light, a great tasting beer that doesn't fill you up.
Looks like a stroll-light night when good times come along.
Condominium, starring Barbara Eden and Dan Haggerty, Sunday night at 10:30.
Colors this October day in the heart of Wisconsin's Dairyland. And on the shores of the lake, the town of Menominee, population 12,000, home of the University of Wisconsin Stout, whose football star is Bob Johnson, the second all-time rusher in Stout football history. And Johnson has already rolled up 270 yards rushing in 4 unbeaten games. Stout's opponents today are from Wisconsin-Oshkosh, and they are led by quarterback Brad Hitt, the top passer in the conference last season, and who's throwing at a 54% clip this year. Live Division III football, Wisconsin-Oshkosh and Wisconsin-Stout.
Sports presents NCAA football. Wisconsin-Oshkosh versus Wisconsin-Stout.
There's a lot you can have with a new Subaru station wagon, like great mileage, front-wheel drive, or on-demand four-wheel drive, power windows, tilt steering wheel, power steering. In fact, it's so packed with value that our station wagon can be a very involving experience. Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way.
Hey, Mr. Sailor, Flight 90 to Atlanta again, right? Go get 'em.
Working your way across country, huh? How about lunch at your desk?
Yeah. Helping America get down to business is one way Eastern earns its wings. For 3 years in a row now, we've flown more passengers than any other airline in the free world. Give us a try on your way to work.
Sir, have a good presentation.
Live from Nelson Field in Menominee, Wisconsin. Division III football, Wisconsin-Oshkosh and Wisconsin-Stout. Hello, everyone. Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris here on a beautiful autumn day at Nelson Field in Menominee, Wisconsin. Well, Johnny, we were supposed to be at Soldier Field in Chicago on the shores of another lake to see the Bears and the Vikings today. We find ourselves on the shores of Lake Menominee.
Yes, and I'm having a good time. This town has gone up for grabs. This was a big game before CBS got involved, but now it is really a big game because you talk about two teams that are going to be up. You know, these kids have never been on television. They're going to be up. You know, some football teams, you have one's up, one's down. They'll both be ready. We're going to get a maximum effort.
Got to take you back to your college days. You went to a small school, too.
Yes, University of California, Santa Barbara. That was Division III, and I played 10 years of pro football, and I think back on my career, the best of times was when I was playing in college, and that's what's going on right here.
Well, one thing we know for sure, these football players have been practicing harder this week than the NFL players have, and it's a very big game for Wisconsin Stout particularly. They're unbeaten, ranked number 4 in the nation, and Oshkosh trying to get themselves back into the Wisconsin Conference race. So obviously, there's no problem in getting them ready for this football game. One thing about Division III, we know we're going to see some unusual things out here.
I'm expecting a high-scoring game. We're going to see Stout's radar defense. Wait till you get a hold of that one.
Okay, we'll tell you more about radar defense and plenty of offensive fireworks we expect. We'll be back here for the opening kickoff and this important Wisconsin Conference game in Menominee in just a moment.
Introducing the incredible flexible fabric bandage.
When you have to move like this, you need a bandage that moves with you.
New flexible fabric bandage is made of a breathable, elastic fabric. So it flexes when you flex and stretches when you stretch.
When you have to move like this, you need a bandage that moves with you.
Try new flexible fabric bandage from Band-Aid brand. It moves with you, so it stays with you.
I'm a firefighter. You get greasy, grimy. I'm shampooing 2-3 times a day. I'm kind of worried about that. I have to have a shampoo that's gentle. So I use my daughter's Johnson's baby shampoo. There's a big difference.
No other shampoo has Johnson's unique formula. It combines thorough cleaning with extra gentleness.
Johnson's gets my hair very clean in a very gentle way. It even makes my hair feel better. And Johnson's is gentle enough to use every day. The proof's right here.
All right, Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris, we are about set to go where the Blue Devils of Wisconsin Stout will be at home to Wisconsin-Oshkosh in a Wisconsin Conference game. And Oshkosh coming in with an overall record of 1-2. The Titans will be in the white jerseys, and they will kick off. The Blue Devils of Stout are 4-0 overall, 2-0 in conference play, and are in second place in the conference at the moment, with lacrosse having won yesterday, taking over first place. They have a chance to move into a tie again with a victory here today over Oshkosh. Johnny?
And you mentioned a beautiful day. The sun has come out. It's been raining here the past couple of days, but now it is beautiful, about 60 degrees and sunny up here in Wisconsin.
It'll be Randy Sprangers, a backup offensive tackle, doing the kicking off for Oshkosh in white, the Titans, and the deep man is Keith Laube, number 45. Laube, the reserve running back, will be the deep man for the Blue Devils of Stout. Stout is named after James H. Stout, a state senator who endowed this college when it was originally a manual training school. Here comes Laube up the sidelines with a pretty good return. Knocked down at the 25-yard line by number 53, the first man to make contact, reserve linebacker Mark Herman. And so the Blue Devils, with hometown support, about 4,500 on hand here at Nelson Field, will have the first offensive series. The quarterback is Glenn Myshock, a sophomore from West Allis. And the running backs in the wishbone, Todd Zimmerman, a senior from Cedarburg, Wisconsin, Bob Johnson from Hastings, Minnesota, number 22, and number 24, Jesse Hughes from Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. The wide receiver and their main man is Mike Kramer, number 87. First play from scrimmage, off tackle left is the fullback Zimmerman, picking up about 5 yards on the play to make it 2nd and 5. For Stout, as we see defensively, Oshkosh defensive line, Jorgensen and Schiesler are the ends. Rusinski and Conklin are the tackles. The linebackers are England, Schumacher, and Plucker. And a secondary of Hughes and Destach on the corners. Menzel and Wormington are the safeties. Starting in a 4-3, and Oshkosh normally employs a 5-2. They're trying the 4-3 today. It is Zimmerman again, picking up a couple of more for Stout. It'll bring up 3rd and 2.
Well, you can see what they're doing with the wishbone, and the option with the quarterback is you look at Myshock looking towards the sideline to get the signal from Coach Bob Kamish on the play. Now, he has 2 or 3 options, and he watches the defensive line. He'll either give it to the fullback or possibly turn up the field later on or pitch out to the halfback, and that's what we're going to see Stout doing all afternoon. It's a tough one to defend.
Myshock told us yesterday he expects that they will try to go outside against Oshkosh. They think they can beat them outside on the ground. And the give is to Jesse Hughes, number 24, the junior from Lake Geneva. 5'10", 170-pounder, trying to get that first down yardage, and it appears that he has been stopped short by Plucker and Schiesler. Plucker, number 61, a junior from Crivett. Schiesler, sophomore from Oshkosh North High School, and they will have to measure.
These two teams have played each other 25 times. Oshkosh has won 16. Stout has won 8, and there was 1 tie. But last year, Oshkosh came out on top, 21-14.
Yes, and quarterback Brad Hitt, who we will see when they get the ball, had himself quite an afternoon. 15 for 18 and 3 touchdowns. And Russ Wolf, the injured running back star, rushed for 134 yards for Oshkosh. So the Titans have held, and it'll be 4th and inches for the Blue Devils of Stout.
I was talking to Bob Johnson with Stout, and he was saying that he said, we're playing for Stout, but we're also playing for Division III football. We've never been on TV, never.
Tom Galiotto is in to punt for the Blue Devils. The deep man is number 41, Pat Kennedy. Kennedy signals fair catch at the Titans' 30-yard line, and so Oshkosh will have the ball for the first time. And we'll return here for the first offensive series by the Titans of Oshkosh in just a moment.
Help! My little girl's inside. I couldn't reach her.
We'll get her out. Smoke is a killer. Most home fire deaths are caused by smoke and gases, not flames. Learn to stay low where the air is better, like firefighters do. Crawling could save your life.
Angela!
Learn how to prevent home fires and survive in an emergency in the Fire Safety Book, free from participating Shell dealers. Come to Shell for answers.
Search presents The Encounter. You never know when you're going to wind up face-to-face with someone. With Search, you're always ready.
I think I was here first.
Wow, let's share the ride. Only Search has a great taste, plus a glistening drop of resin and a fresh, clean flavor to get your breath fresh enough to go face-to-face.
Where are you going?
Wherever you are.
Search, for breath that's face-to-face fresh, and now new sugar-free Search.
Tuesday, bring 'em back alive. Journey with Frank Buck to a land of mystery and danger.
Buck, be careful, it's quicksand.
Frank Buck brings 'em back alive Tuesday.
Well, some CBS fans in the crowd today, as Oshkosh will have first down for the Titans of Oshkosh from their own 30-yard line. We are scoreless in the first period, 13-13 remaining. Brad Hitt comes out at quarterback, number 11. have the wide receivers Wild and Westfall now setting up out on the wing. The give is to the running back.
That's Russ Wolf, who is playing. He has a sprained ankle.
The senior from Two Rivers, yes, who was just determined to play in this game. He missed last week's game with an ankle injury, and as you can see, was not scheduled to start. In his place, Jim Talabicki, number 31. Westfall and Mike Thompson, the wingback, and the wide receiver, Jim Wild. Their offensive line, Stelzel, Schultz, Pfeiffer, Ropella, Torno, and Dalkey. But it is Russ Wolf, number 22, the senior, at running back, and he lost a yard on the play. 2nd and 11. Hitt wants to throw. He runs out of town. He is decked by number 77, Hagedorn, and right behind him, number 74, Dan Schneider.
I think Hagedorn was the first man there, but you saw it was a partial rollout. They try and roll away from the pocket to give him a little bit more time to throw, but it didn't work that time. The radar defense was right there, and if you may have noticed, everybody on the defensive line standing up, and then they come from all directions, but quick read and go, and you can see Hagedorn coming through there, and there is a pretty big hit.
All right, so it is third, and 18 to go. Wild and Westfall wide. Hit back to throw. Hit and almost caught by Wild, and then almost intercepted on the deflection. It goes incomplete. Number 19, Rick Desjardins on the coverage with that radar defense, and we'll get a better look at it on the next series. But it worked effectively on this one. It is 4th down for Oshkosh, and they will have to punt. Line of scrimmage now back at their own 23-yard line. In to kick is the wide receiver, Jim Wild, who led the conference in running a year ago. And Wild, averaging 36.1 on 11 punts, gets a good kick away. It's taken and then bobbled and covered immediately by Dan Lawler, number 43. He dropped the initial try, but then covered on the ball at the 37-yard line of Wisconsin Stout. And so we will return to Nelson Field in Menominee, Wisconsin, with the score still tied 0-0.
What's wrong with the computer? Tape drive.
The Army's most technical skills are also the ones most in demand. But now if you qualify, there's a way to reserve the skill you want up to 12 months before you go in. It's called the Delayed Entry Program, and it guarantees you the training you want.
Be all that you can be, 'cause we need you.
Okay, it's up.
In the Army.
We are USA 1, and USA 1 is taking charge by launching 1983 with the most exciting offer in automotive history. Buy or order any new Chevy Chevette, Citation, full-size C10 pickup, love truck, or standard S10 pickup by November 15th, and get a round-trip ticket for two wherever Eastern Airlines flies, in the U.S., Canada, Mexico, Bermuda, Bahamas, or the Caribbean. Tickets good for a full year. There's never been an offer like it before.
During the week of October 17th through the 24th, communities throughout the nation will make an investment in America's greatest resource, its youth, by supporting National High School Activities Week. The National Federation of State High School Associations urges your support for these valuable programs.
Bob Kamish loves Division III football. He has been here at Stout as a coach for 15 years. His third year as head coach. There is Dave Hoektrit in his 6th year as head coach at Oshkosh, and he had 8 years as an assistant prior to taking over. On 1st down, it is Glenn Myshak running the option out of the wishbone and picking up about 2 yards to the 40-yard line of UW-Stout. Scott Rusinski, number 73, making the tackle for Oshkosh.
Glenn Myshak is from Milwaukee, West Ellis. He came up to school here. He was a freshman, got a little experience last year, and now he's got a big job. It's a tough job for a quarterback in this option, the way they run it. He's got to make some split-second decisions.
Wide to the right is Mike Kramer out of the standard wishbone. Rides the fullback, the pitch back, misses the mark, and back forward is Johnson, covering it at the 20-yard line. A flag is down on the play.
I had to come back. I had to tell you.
Yeah.
White, offside.
Well, there's the word from referee Bill Coughlin making his first call today. He's from La Crosse, along with the rest of the officiating crew, as we see Jorgensen offside on the play. So it is now 2nd and 4. Give it to Zimmerman, and a loose ball recovered by Oshkosh. And so the Titans of Oshkosh, number 87, Tom Schiesler, the sophomore from Oshkosh North, comes up with a fumble, and the Titans in excellent field position at the 44-yard line of Wisconsin Stout.
Okay, I think it was a wrong decision, don't you? Schiesler has to jam up, and Schiesler recovered, but the wrong decision by the quarterback to let the near back take the ball into that jam up. That was the time he's supposed to pull it back, take it on, and maybe pitch it out.
All right, 10:43 remains here in the first period of play in Menominee, Wisconsin. We are still scoreless. The Titans have the ball.
We are USA 1. Taking charge, utilizing advanced engine technology in the front-wheel drive Cavalier. With a new high-compression electronically fuel-injected 2-liter engine, an available 5-speed transmission, and a new lower price. Chevrolet's going to give the imports competition they haven't seen before. The new Cavalier, from America's sales leader, USA 1, is taking charge.
Gross weight at liftoff, 4.5 million pounds. Twin rocket boosters, 150 feet long. Fuel capacity, 1.5 million pounds. And helping support the launch of this behemoth, 4 Honeywell computers. Honeywell computers working together in a giant network are helping the Space Shuttle Columbia reach for the future. Honeywell, you should see what we do with computers.
Next Saturday on CBS Sports, a horse racing doubleheader, the Champagne Stakes and the Jockey Club Gold Cup. Watch them run next Saturday on CBS Sports.
The autumn leaves of Wisconsin, and they are just absolutely beautiful here. I think ahead of most parts of the country, and the foliage turning to those gorgeous autumn colors. Certainly back east, I know they're not really colorful as yet. It's quite warm back there.
There you get a look at the radar defense. Everybody on Stout is standing up, ready to react, read, and then go.
All right, first down for the Titans following the fumble recovery, rolling out a Strad hit. Breaks one tackle and has first down yardage. Close to the 30-yard line. They'll spot it at the 32 of Stout. Don Hagedorn, number 77, the junior from Eau Claire, finally pulled him down.
First down. Okay, here goes Brad Hitt as he goes out the fake to the other way, and you're going to see number 91, Maurice Britz, comes over. He's the only man that could stop him, but he cuts back behind him and puts his head down. He puts his nose down real nice, doesn't he, Brad Hitt?
Yes, he does. And you saw Britz flip a little bit. The field is a little greasy. They had rain here yesterday. Not heavy rain, but enough to make it a little bit slippery. And straight ahead on the dive play is Russ Wolf again, number 22, the senior from Two Rivers, 5'7", 185-pound bowling ball. There's the Stout defensive line. Ritz and Hagedorn on the end. Ness and Schneider, the tackle. Wenzel, Schuh, O'Connor, and Young. And they stand up along with the down linemen who aren't down. Desjardins, Weber, and Smudgick. The three-man secondary in this radar defense. Meanwhile, it is second down and 14. Second down and 6 after Wolf's 4-yard gain. And Wolf again this time is racked up at the 25-yard line by Dan Weber. Hard-hitting cornerman number 27. Sophomore from Racine. Pickup of 2 on the play.
Okay, there's a look at the radar defense. Everybody is up. You would think that you could knock them right back, but what they do is they just read and make a quick reaction and run all kinds of ways, like just like bandits. They just don't have any. You don't think they have discipline, but they do. As Weber came up with a nice tackle, didn't he, number 27?
Yes, he did. He's considered the hardest hitter in that Stout secondary. And 3rd and 3, the Titans at the 25 of Stout. And the pass complete to Wild. A nice-looking play for the first down to the 18-yard line. Jim Wild, a junior from Juneau Dodgeland High School, picking up the first down for the Oshkosh Titans, who are threatening.
Okay, Hitt does a nice job. You notice the quarterback's always on the move. He just turns and throws a quick lookie to Wild over the middle, and a nice gain down to the 18.5-yard line.
Pete Young, a senior from St. Paul, Minnesota, made the stop on the play, but the Titans with first down at the 19 of Wisconsin Stout. trying to take advantage of the fumble. And going wide is Westfall, number 25. Brad Westfall picked up about 3 on the play. A junior from Menasha, Wisconsin. A lot of Menasha grads on the Oshkosh team. Schneider, number 74, and Shue, the linebacker, 55, making the tackle. 2nd and 6. Oshkosh grinding it out, having recovered the fumble at the Stout 44-yard line. So they're on the 15 now of Stout. Radar defense having its problems on this series after shutting down Oshkosh in the opening offensive series. The wingback, Whitman in motion. They give it to the fullback. He will score. Westfall. Brad Westfall, the junior from Menasha, takes it in, and Oshkosh is on the scoreboard. The Titans lead it 6-0.
He had a hole a mile wide right up the middle.
Behind Rotella, the center, and Purno, the guard, number 50 on the right side.
And that was the key. And look at this setup for the extra point.
Let's have a look at this. An unusual setup. They line up their offensive line off to the right, and then sometimes they will leave them out there in order to get a try at a two-point conversion. Now they have shifted them back into the regular formation, and the point after try by Steve Menzel is good. And so, with 8 minutes remaining in this first period of play in Menominee, Wisconsin, it is Oshkosh 7, Stout nothing.
We are USA 1. And number 1 is taking charge in high-technology transportation. With new generation Chevrolets like Celebrity. Taking charge in production techniques. With the new high-compression electronic fuel-injected Cavalier. And taking over the streets. With the electrifying Camaro, Chevrolet, America's sales leader, is taking it all to the limit. USA 1 is taking charge.
Nothing tastes like Hawaiian punch.
You only have to taste it once. Taste of the place. Ooh, far, far away. Come on and go Hawaiian. Hawaiian punch. Sail away, sail away. Sail away.
Well, the Titans from Oshkosh took advantage of the fumble recovery at the 44-yard line of Stout, and it was Brad Westfall scoring from 16 yards out, and Oshkosh, the underdog, has taken a 7-0 lead. It'll be Sprangers kicking off again for the Titans. And the deep man is Lauby, and Lauby bumping into one of his own men, but has the ball. Lauby slipping at the 10-yard line, battles his way over the 15 to the 18-yard line, where Carl Vanderzanden, number 51, makes the tackle for Oshkosh.
It looks like Oshkosh has come ready to play, Tim. You know, they stayed in Eau Claire last night before coming in to play this football game, and they got a special deal because of the fact that they usually have to bunk 2 in a bed. They have 2 beds in each room and 2 people in each bed, but because this was a big game on television, they let them each have their own bed. How about that?
All right. You saw the scoring drive there for the Oshkosh Titans, who hold a 7-0 lead. Myshak pitching off. It is taken by Jesse Hughes, and he gets only to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard on the play. Tom Schiesler, the sophomore from Oshkosh North, makes the tackle. And some Blue Devil fans, they are out in force here as it's turned into a beautiful afternoon after a cool and gray morning. But, of course, they knew it was going to be on CBS television. So out came the sun, out came the kids. It is 2nd and 9, and wide to the right is Mike Kramer, who has 15 catches for Stout this season. The give is to the fullback, Todd Zimmerman, Todd Sr. from Cedarburg, and he is stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Indeed, he will lose 2 yards on the play to bring up 3rd and 11. Rusinski and Conklin on the tackle.
Well, so far, actually, Stout's just getting whipped in the middle of that line. They've tried several pops right up the middle, and Oshkosh is kind of banged up on defense there, especially in the line, and they're doing a heck of a job in there.
Ted Hansen, starting defensive tackle, out with a broken arm. So they had to make some adjustments. It is 3rd and 11 for Stout. And They give it to Johnson. He's their horse. 23, maybe 4 yards on the play, and it'll bring up 4th down as Conklin and Rusinski, again the tackle, 62 and 73. Sophomore and a freshman combined to make the stop. That'll bring in the punter for Stout, Tom Galeotto. And Galeotto will stand at his own 5-yard line as the Titans from Oshkosh have gotten the jump on the unbeaten number 4 ranked Wisconsin Stout Blue Devils. Good kick by Galeotto. It's taken by Kennedy at his own 40-yard line, and he's hit from behind at midfield, getting it into the 49-yard line. And once again, Johnny, the Titans will have good field position as they start. Keith Jurek making the tackle. Well, next Saturday on CBS Sports, you'll see the 64th running of the Jockey Club Gold Cup for 3-year-olds and the 111th edition of the Champagne for 2-year-olds. Both from Belmont Park. Be here for great thoroughbred racing. That's next Saturday at 5 o'clock. Johnny, I know you'll be watching.
Oh, yes. Never miss a horse race.
You like those ponies, I know that. First down for Oshkosh at the 49 of Stout. And the give is to Gary Gogger. Gogger gets about a yard before the radar zeroes in on him and pulls him down. First man there was linebacker Tom O'Connor, a sophomore from Wenatchee.
Gary Gogger, the ball carrier. Second down.
It'll be second and about 9.5 to go. Quarterback for the Titans, Brad Hitt, having himself an outstanding year. Last year he led the conference with a 54% passing mark. That is Jim Talabicki, and he, with a second effort, picked up about 4 yards on the play. Pretty good lick on him.
He got a good block from Randy Pfeiffer, too.
Wenzel, yes, he did. Excellent.
Pfeiffer is probably the oldest man on this football field. He's 25 years old. Watch Randy Pfeiffer. He is pulling out here the left guard, number 76, to a good block to help get an extra couple or 3 yards. 25 years old, a former war veteran, is married, one of 2 students married on this Oshkosh team, so most of them are single, Tim.
He is a senior from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, one of the few Easterners on the squad. Play action pass, hit as the tight end, Dave Stelzel, and he is hit immediately by Kurt Wenzel and stopped short of the first down. Stelzel, a freshman from Waupun, Wisconsin, making a good catch, but a good defensive play by Wenzel.
Yes, great play by Wenzel because he was outmanned by about 20 pounds, and he stopped Stelzel right on in his tracks as he comes across, and here comes Wenzel, number 48, to make the tackle and stop him before he could get that extra yard for the first down, forcing the apparent punt.
Jim Wild standing at his own 45-yard line. They need 1.5 yards, and they're going to punt it. Wild gets a good kick.
One.
And that'll go into the end zone and create a touchback for Stout. So with time winding down in this first period, the Titans of Oshkosh holding on to their lead, and Stout will start from their 20. Next week, NCAA action continues, and we'll have a full lineup for you, as usual, on CBS Sports on Saturday. And this week, we've got Division III football, with Stout taking over. First down at their own 20. My shot on the option. Pitch out to Johnson. Johnson up the sidelines, knocked out of bounds at the 30-yard line. A pickup of close to 10, maybe first down yardage for Johnson.
And that was a good decision by Myshak that time, as he had number 83, Steve Jorgensen, right on him, and he just pitched at the last second. They got the yards to the outside, and that's the way they try and make that option work.
Schiesler was the man to push him out of bounds, with help from Schumacher, freshman from Little Chute. They think highly of this young man, 6 foot 185-pounder, number 65. Second and about a half a yard, as it turns out of the wishbone. They give us to Zimmerman, and Zimmerman appeared to have the first down before he was driven back, and they will spot it as first down yardage. Rusinski and Conklin combined to stop him, but it is a Stout first down.
I believe that's the first one, isn't it, Tim?
The first down for unbeaten Stout. They have won 2 games in the conference and 2 outside the conference for their number 4 ranking in the nation among Division III teams.
And it is the Wisconsin State University Conference. River Falls and La Crosse are both undefeated also at 3-0.
First down for Stout, trying to get some offense going. They give it to Johnson. Johnson cutting it back up inside the tackle. Hit first by Jorgensen, and then finally the linebacker England putting the hit on him with help from Jeff Presley, who has come in on the corner on the left side. Pick up 5.5 yards for Johnson.
He gained 927 yards last year. That's pretty good. He runs about a 4.6 40.
13 touchdowns in 1981. He's got a chance to be the all-time rusher for the school of Wisconsin. 7,300 students here. The pass complete to wide open Kramer. Mike Kramer, the junior from Menominee, gets the first down for Stout, and Myshak really had the zip on that one.
And it was just a question of time before they went to Kramer, who averages almost 25 yards per catch. That's big yardage. Now, this is the fake with the old belly. He puts it right in his belly. Here comes Kramer. He has good speed, number 87, and almost broke that.
Hometown boy from Menominee, Wisconsin, was not a high school star at Menominee High, but got a chance to come to Stout, and he has blossomed. And the give is to the lead back, Todd Zimmerman, and the senior from Cedarburg. Drives ahead for a pickup of 5, and Stout is on the move to the 41-yard line of the Titans.
Good trap
on the hit.
Good trap by Paul Helm coming across number 63 on that. Nice trap blocking up the middle. And there are some of the fans. They've been here for about 2 or 3 hours. You know, in pro football, the fans show up the last hour, so they've been here a long time today.
It is 2nd and a long 4 for the Blue Devils. The pitch is to Hughes. Hughes turning it upfield. The flag is down, and Hughes will get inside the 20 to the 15-yard line. Van Dam going all the way back from the line to make the tackle on him, but flags are down back at the line of scrimmage.
Nice running, though, by Jesse Hughes, who has been more prominent as far as blocking is concerned. He's thrown some good blocks so far this season for Stout, but it's going to be clipping against Stout, so that's another critical penalty.
A tough break for the Blue Devils of Stout. And again, if you've joined us and are wondering where Stout, Wisconsin is, there is no Stout, Wisconsin. The college is in Menominee, but it is named after a state senator who started this school originally as a manual training school out of the public school system way back in the early part of the century. Senator James Stout was a lumberman.
Clip. Blue offense, number 10.
15 yards.
Number 10 is charged against quarterback Glenn Myshak. You heard the call from referee Bill Coughlin. The other officials, Ben Barrett from La Crosse, Scott Ott from La Crosse, Jay Buckley from La Crosse, and Bill Leonard from La Crescent, Minnesota. It is 2nd down and about 19 to go. Myshak rolling, turning it upfield, and makes a nice move and dives over the 45-yard line to the 44. Francis Schumacher tripped him up, and Bill Pluker finished him off. Good running by the quarterback brings it back to 3rd down and about 7.
Myshak shows some pretty good speeds. He was looking for Kramer on the down and out with the option to run, and he does a pretty good job as he gets around the horn and then avoids Francis Schumacher, who was coming full speed, and he outweighs him about 40 pounds. He got away from that one and was able to get up there for good yardage. 3rd down and about 8.
Well, I asked Myshak who his favorite quarterback was. He says Joe Montana, because he's a young quarterback who took his team to the championship. That's what I want to do as a sophomore. Myshak, and he's got a man open, and it is complete to Mike Kramer, who made a nice sliding catch on the slippery turf. 1st down at the 25-yard line of Oshkosh.
Yes, Kramer was down on the turf. He slipped, and Myshak does a good job because he's running left. He's got to throw right. Now, Kramer will fall and be on the ground when he catches it. Good concentration by Mike Kramer. Bring the ball in. 1st down for Stout. Pretty good football.
All right, Stout on the move. They trail 7-0. Oshkosh taking the early lead following the fumble by Todd Zimmerman. And Stout trying to get things tied up. The give is to Johnson, number 22, the senior from Hastings, Minnesota. Their main man offensively. Ruzinski made the tackle, but Johnson picked up 4. 2nd and 6. Ball now at the 23-yard line of the Titans of Oshkosh.
Looks like we won't get a playoff before the first quarter ends.
And the zeros are on the board, signaling the end of this first period of play from Nelson Field in Menominee, Wisconsin. And so far, we have had a most entertaining Division III football game with Oshkosh smelling upset and leading 7-0.
We are USA 1, and USA 1 is taking charge by launching 1983 with the most exciting offer in automotive history. Buy or order any new Chevy Chevette, Citation, full-size C10 pickup, love truck, or standard S10 pickup by November 15th, and get a round-trip ticket for 2 wherever Eastern Airlines flies, in the U.S., Canada, Mexico, Bermuda, Bahamas, or the Caribbean. Tickets good for a full year. There's never been an offer like it before.
How did your muffler sound before you came to Kmart K-Care?
Brum, brum. I don't know how a muffler sounds.
Sound like a motorcycle? It isn't. It's my car.
Quiet your noisemaker now with the Arrestor Plus at a net installed price of $18.88 after you receive a $5 mail-in rebate.
Let Kmart take care of you.
It was fixed.
Just smooth.
Wow! Tootsie Rolls.
For over 80 years, Tootsie Rolls have delighted children. And for 40 years, Tootsie Pops, with a Tootsie Roll Center, have brought long-lasting enjoyment. And now, there's Tootsie Pop Drops, hard candy drops with a Tootsie Roll Center. Tootsie Rolls, Tootsie Pops, Tootsie Pop Drops. Tootsie, terrific for Halloween treats.
It's from Tootsie Roll.
From Radio Shack's world of the TRS-80 comes the Model 3 computer. And this month only, save $111. Select from Radio Shack's huge program library to aid your children's education. Plan your personal and household budgets. Or to entertain with fast-action games. You can even learn to write programs. The TRS-80 Model 3 on sale for $888. Only at Radio Shack, the computer experts.
Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris, we are back on a beautiful autumn afternoon at Nelson Field in Menominee, Wisconsin. And it is 7-0 for UW-Oshkosh over Stout, but Stout is driving at the 22-yard line of the Titans of Oshkosh, having taken the ball following the kickoff after the Oshkosh touchdown and marching it down the field, where they are now threatening to tie things up. The Blue Devils to our right in blue, the Titans of Oshkosh to our left in white. Johnson in motion out of the backfield. Myshak on the option, pitching to Hughes. Hughes getting around the corner for about 5, maybe 6 yards. Forced out of bounds by Van Dam at the 15-yard line. And they have a first down.
There was a good block by Todd Zimmerman on that play, number 32. Threw a nice block to help him get around the horn. They got their near backs are pretty good blockers, those up backs.
So Stout threatening. They are unbeaten, 4-0, ranked number 4 in the nation among Division III teams. And they have a first down at the 15-yard line of Oshkosh. Myshak play action. He's got running room. Takes it upfield, and Myshak will score a touchdown. Glenn Myshak, the sophomore from West Allis, Wisconsin. And Stout, with an impressive offensive drive, has closed the margin to a point.
A nice play by Myshak as he faked out the Oshkosh defense. They thought he was going to pitch out to the trailing back. Mike Hughes was really fooled on the play, and Myshak just turned up the field and went between 2 defenders and took it in for the touchdown. This is what you call a smart play. You can see Johnson, 22, is the trailing back out here to the right. Now they think he's going to throw out. Hughes goes out to take the trailing back, and Myshak turns up the field, takes it in for the touchdown.
So Glenn Myshak doing an outstanding job of bringing the Stout team right down the field and into attempt to tie it up is Clay Vagert, and it is wide to the right. Clay Vagert, who has won 3 of the 4 games for Stout with field goals this season, misses the tying point after try. And so the score stands. Wisconsin-Oshkosh 7, Stout 6.
Out of the blue comes the ice blue freshness of Aquavelva. Out of the blue comes the Aquavelva man. Looking for the light scent, the clean scent, the fresh scent that comes from out of the blue. There's something about an Aquavelva man. Be one.
You're looking at the 2 best reasons I take good care of my brakes. They're why I go to Midas on a regular basis. Midas inspects brakes the right way. I pull the wheel. If anything needs doing, I know it gets done right. Some people say I'm overly cautious, but I don't think so. I just feel better going to Midas.
Where nothing but the best is ever gonna do. Trust the Midas touch.
And we are back at Nelson Field in Menominee, Wisconsin, where Todd Miles is set to kick it off for Wisconsin Stout. The deep man is number 44, John Plaskowitz, standing at the 1-yard line for the Titans of Oshkosh. 7-6, Oshkosh holding to a 1-point margin as Clay Vagert missed the point after for Stout. Miles' kickoff is coming down at the 9-yard line. Plaskowitz trying the left side, bumps off one tackler, still going. Plaskowitz, good running effort over the 30-yard line to the 33. And Plaskowitz, outstanding job. He stopped by Jeff Coleman, and Stout has first down at their own 32-yard line. Well, next week, the NCAA Today starts our action at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. On Saturday, it'll be Penn State against Alabama, plus other regional games. Check your local listings for the games and times in your area. And a big one, Penn State and Alabama, here on CBS Sports. All right, first down. Slot formation to the right for the Titans of Oshkosh. And they give it to Westfall, number 25. The junior from Menasha High picks up a couple to the 35-yard line. Schneider and Shue made the tackle. And the Stout scoring drive, 11 plays, 80 yards, with Myshak taking it in from 14 and Vagert missing the kick.
One thing you may notice that Oshkosh is doing is putting 2 wingers out here to one side.
It is second down and 8 for the Titans, and it's hit lobbing a pass out there to the wingback Dale Whitman, number 34, a freshman from Menasha, and the Titans have another first down to the 46-yard line.
That was a nice pass by Hitt because he had a lot of touch on it. After the fake in and the rollout, he had to lift it up and over the linebacker. Does a nice job, put it right down into Whitman's hands, and it's a first down for Stout.
Number 21, Mike Smudgick on the tackle, a junior from Stanley, Wisconsin. First down, the Titans on the move again. In motion is the wingback Thompson. And the give to the lead back, that's Westfall, and he did not get too much. Maybe, well, it's going to be a little better than we thought. About a 3-yard gain to midfield.
Somebody's down on the field, Tim.
Yes, we have an injured player down. It appears to be Mike Crudwig, number 72, reserve defensive tackle, a sophomore from Rochester, Minnesota. And so we have a timeout on the field while they attend to that young man, and we'll return with 13:28 remaining first half. It is 7-6 for Oshkosh.
Has Polaroid got a gift idea this time?
I'll bite.
Their great new Smile Back offer. Buy a Sun camera or Amigo and you get a Smile Back in the mail.
You can't mail a smile.
Okay, they send you $10.
I'm smiling.
And with the gift, you can also give Polaroid Smile Insurance. They save up any 10 pictures that don't make them smile, and we send them a free pack of film.
But isn't it hard to get 10 bad pictures?
That's the idea.
Oh, some big offer.
Early in the year,
guys were down here scouting the kids. Now they're back looking for help.
Bring out your best Budweiser Light. Bring out your best Budweiser Light.
The best never comes easy. That's why there's nothing else like it.
Hey, Bob, you got a minute?
Budweiser Lights.
Nearly 3 million fans attended NCAA Division I AA football games in 1981. The Division I AA membership has grown to 93 teams for the 1982 season, expanding the excitement for this colorful level of NCAA football. The Division I AA championship will be determined December 18th at Wichita Falls, Texas.
Now let's take a peek here and see where Crudwig was hurt. As you're going to see the ball carrier come in, and look at the leg whip up right there, and he gets hit right there, and the leg gets bent back right to the left of the circle there.
Well, they helped Mike Crudwig off the field, limping, but he's apparently not seriously hurt. There he is, getting attention from the training staff on the sideline. Westfall, meanwhile, picked up 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7 for Oshkosh at midfield. They lead by a point. Live from Nelson Field, Division III football, Wisconsin Stout of Menominee against Wisconsin Oshkosh. Hit pitching it back and slipping was number 34, the wingback Dale Whitman, and he did not get back to the line of scrimmage. They will lose 2 on the play. Young and Shue, 2 of the linebackers in that radar defense, were there to cover him.
And Snyder was across there, too, to jam up the play before it could even develop.
Interesting in listening to the coaching staff telling us about the techniques involved in this stand-up position. They use a term how they swim off a block, kind of reach around as you're being driven inside, reach around and spin sometimes to stay in the flow. It's an interesting-looking defense, and it's been effective for them this season. 3rd down and 9. Brad Hitt has time, but he is off the mark, throwing it intended for the tight end Dave Stelzel, who was covered. Looked like Hitt might have just thrown it out of bounds there. So that'll bring up 4th down for the Titans of Oshkosh, and they will have to punt. Well, other scores in our CBS coverage today. West Georgia really doing a number on Millsaps of Jackson, Mississippi. Baldwin Wallace in the 4th period leading Wittenberg. What a rivalry that is. 13-7. 2 of the outstanding teams in Division III. Baldwin Wallace currently ranked number 2 in the nation. And the punt is taken by Dan Lawler of Stout at his own 15-yard line. And so the Blue Devils of Wisconsin Stout will try to get it going here. They trail by a point as we have 12:20 remaining in this first half of play in Menominee, Wisconsin. Oshkosh leading 7-6.
Time. When you ship air cargo, time is everything. That's why Flying Tigers delivers everything. Not just small packages. In fact, no matter what size your shipment is, we'll pick it up, fly it, and deliver it overnight, virtually anywhere in the country, on time. Or you don't pay. Small, medium, or large. Call Flying Tigers. It's on time, or it's on us.
Flying Tigers.
It'll never work.
We're testing whether Tegrin shampoo can keep baseball star Jim Palmer's dandruff under control for 3 days. Tegrin Shake, Day 1.
Looking good, so far.
Tegrin Shake, Day 2.
Tegrin's still working, but the game's not over.
Yeah.
Tegrin Shake, Day 3.
Incredible. Tegrin did it.
All right, yeah, it works.
From now on, I'm trusting Tegrin.
Try Tegrin. It works on dandruff.
Really works.
Between shampoos.
Next Saturday on CBS Sports, a classic coaches matchup. Joe Paterno's Nittany Lions face Bear Bryant's Crimson Tide, plus other regional excitement. Next Saturday on CBS Sports.
Well, the Stout fans aren't looking at the scoreboard. They say they're number 1, but they're down by 1 at the moment.
Plus they're number 4, right? Not number 1.
That's right.
And
Milwaukee Brewers lead Baltimore 1-0 in the first inning. And the Brewers, who have lost 3 in a row to the Orioles, need that victory today. In fact, as everyone knows by now, the winner will be the champ in that division. But, boy, around this area, everybody's been watching those Milwaukee games on television. They've been dying these last few days here in Wisconsin.
And they've got Jim Palmer to beat today. They're ahead of him 1-0. We'll see what happens.
All right, first down for Stout. And, oh, what a hit on Johnson right at the line of scrimmage.
Bob Johnson, the ball carrier.
3. Scott Ruzinski, the freshman from Menasha, 234-pounder. He's a big kid for freshman. Look at the lick.
Scott Rusinski, number 73, got through there slick and clean, makes the tackle.
Gain of only a yard with the forward progress by hard-running Bob Johnson, the senior from Hastings, Minnesota. 2nd and 9 for Stout. Out to the left comes their ace receiver, Mike Kramer, Menominee High School. Out to the right is John Livingston, another wide receiver.
Ooh.
And they just get the pitch off in time as Myshak took a real hit. Johnson, meanwhile, with a good burst of speed on the corner, has first down yardage.
Boy, did Steve Jorgensen really get to Myshak just as he pitched the ball. I didn't think he was going to get up. Myshak did.
First down for Stout. Myshak, 6 feet, 175-pounder. Talking with him yesterday, not a real big guy, and he takes a lot of licks in this.
There's the hit right there, boy. And he got the pitch right on the dime, too. Bob Johnson said, there it is, I'll take it right around the corner.
So Stout on the move from their own zone out to the 27-yard line of Wisconsin Stout. The Blue Devils send Johnson in motion to the left. Myshak off to Hughes. Hughes cuts it upfield. Nice running to the 35-yard line before he stopped by number 42, the strong safety, Steve Menzel. Menzel, a senior from Menasha High.
And he put a nice move on Steve England, one of the prime defensive players for Oshkosh. Really put a little dipsy-do on him, got some extra yards on it.
2nd down and 4 to go for Stout. They've been running the ball well, both of their last offensive series.
That's why we're going to watch for Mike Kramer, number 87 this time.
He is out on wide left on the short side. Livingston is wide right in the wishbone to give to the lead back, Zimmerman. Zimmerman digs trying to get first down yardage. He will be close.
See, I told you they'd throw to Kramer.
Jorgensen and Schumacher combining on the tackle, and he got the first down. They spotted at the 39-yard line, so Stout, coming smartly out from deep in their own territory, now has some breathing room. And again, I know viewers may be tuning in saying, I've never heard of Stout, Wisconsin. And so we just remind you that the school is in Menominee, Wisconsin. Stout comes from the name of one of the benefactors way back in the early part of the century, a state senator by the name of James Stout. Myshak. Pitch out, flag down. It is Johnson, and he has first down yardage to midfield, but a flag is down near the line of scrimmage. And when you saw him running into the wide picture and you saw the logo on the middle of the field for UWS, University of Wisconsin Stout, as we see the penalty is against Oshkosh, that logo was laid down there by Johnson himself. He's a graphic arts major, Johnny, and he was out here early this week saying, hey, we're going to be on TV. We ought to have something fancy on the field, and he did the job.
Offside defense. First down, it's declined.
Oshkosh offside, declined, of course. We get the word from referee Bill Coughlin, and it is another first down for Stout. At their own 49-yard line, we have a timeout on the field with 10:06 remaining first half. Oshkosh 7, Stout 6.
Ollie, I think we're lost. That's because I can't see out this windshield. What we need is a new set of Anchor wiper blades, like these. Yes. Give me those.
Replace your old wipers with Anco blades at least once a year. Their special formulated natural rubber gives both American and import cars a clean, smooth wipe.
See? That's much better. But this weather is unbearable. It certainly is, Ollie.
Bring out your past.
I wasn't drafted till the 7th round. They don't even know my name.
The best never comes easy.
Crowder, huh?
That's why there's nothing else like it.
Well, the Brewers have moved in front of Baltimore 2-0 with the title on the line in the second inning. That'll make Wisconsin fans in this area very happy, but a long way to go in that ball game.
The fans just went up for grabs here when they announced the score.
It is first down for the Blue Devils of Stout. Glenn Myshak is 2 of 2 for 35 yards, and the ball is almost at midfield. And there's that big UWS logo designed by Bob Johnson, their star running back, and he was out there even supervising the paint job, we're told. My shot going deep for Kramer, and Kramer cannot get to the ball. It's off the mark. The coverage was Doug Destach, senior cornerback from Rice Lake, Wisconsin, for Oshkosh.
Destach was playing way deep that time. He wasn't going to let Kramer get behind him, so there was no chance on that one.
It'll bring up second down for Stout. They trail by a point. 10:01 to go here in this first half of play, and the sun is shining brilliantly on the beautiful autumn leaves all around this Menominee area.
There's not too many fans here from Oshkosh because it was on TV, so everybody stayed home in Oshkosh to watch the game.
They had a couple of busloads ready to go, and the kids changed their mind, apparently. Figured they might as well stay home and enjoy the CBS telecast. Intended for Kramer, a little too high. Had only a fingertip on it. And again, Destach coming up on the coverage. It'll bring up third down. Myshak looked like he rushed that one a little bit.
Yeah, it was overthrown and nearly intercepted, but he was wide open. And watch after he makes his break here. There is nobody around. Destach finally comes into the picture, but it's up high and actually almost ended up being an interception. But they'll come back and use that play again because it was open.
Interesting story about him from the SID here at Stout, Chuck Below, that Kramer was not a high school star at Menominee High. He was just kind of another player on the team. But he has really blossomed into an outstanding player here. 16 catches already this season. That is Bob Johnson, the main man at running back, picking up about 5, maybe 6 yards on the play, but not enough for the first down. They get to the 45-yard line of Oshkosh, where it is fourth down.
Well, the fans, are they happy about that? Well, I don't know. They're happy about being on TV, I'll tell you that.
Let's get our priorities in order here. Let's get on the tube first. All right, you can see Stout has been moving the ball effectively here in this first half. 111 yards rushing to only 37 for Stout, but they trail by a point. And it is Galeotto hitting it from his own 44. And it's a good kick all the way back through the end zone for a touchback. Tom Galeotto been having his problems in the last couple of games punting for Stout, but he's been kicking well here today in this first half. We're down to 9:09 remaining with the Oshkosh Titans clinging to that 1-point margin. Remember, they scored an upset win a year ago, 21-14. That game was over at Oshkosh, Titan Stadium. And they are 1-2 on the season this year against the 4th-ranked unbeaten Blue Devils of Stout. So they are right now hoping to create yet another upset. Quarterback Brad hit number 11. And straight ahead is Jim Palabicki, the junior running back from Seymour, Wisconsin. Getting a couple on the play. Let's call it a 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7. O'Connor and Wenzel in the radar defense, combining to make the hit. As we see Dave Hochtritt, the head coach of Oshkosh, got to feel pretty good about the way his team's playing, except for the rushing yardage they're giving up. And Bob Kamish saying, hey, we got to do better than move it on the ground. We got to get points on the board. Oshkosh has the ball, meanwhile, 2nd and 7. Give us to Westfall, and he is hit right at the line of scrimmage. Tom O'Connor, sophomore from Wanakee, number 50.
Good play by O'Connor. He came from behind the trap and made the tackle. That time, the old radar defense smelled it out. So we have a passing situation, a probable passing situation, 3rd and 6 for Oshkosh. Now, the only one remaining back, they've been doing a lot of that today. They haven't done that, I understand, too much so far this season.
Brad hit back to throw, and it is incomplete, intended for Jim Wild. On the coverage was Dan Weber, sophomore from Racine, and it'll bring up 4th down for Oshkosh. And so Stout's defense, playing stoutly, has brought up a punting situation for the Titans of Oshkosh. 7:50 remaining.
We mentioned that Stout was 2-0 in conference play, and 2 of those were, their last 2 victories were overtime. Did you mention that, Tim?
Well, they were 2 of them in overtime, yeah. and 3 of them were by the margin of a field goal provided by Clay Vagert. So they haven't exactly dominated people. That is partially blocked. The punt partially blocked, comes down at the 36-yard line, and it is recovered by Oshkosh. So the Titans get a real break there. It looked like it was Pete Young who got a hand on the football, and then it was recovered by Oshkosh. And so they turn a 4th down block into a 1st down at their own 36.
I think it was Maurice Britz who tried to field the ball, even though it was partially blocked, and dropped the ball.
There's Young getting a hand on it.
Yeah.
Pete Young, a senior from St. Paul, Minnesota, doing a good job, but then it turned against them as Oshkosh has recovered. So it is 1st down for the Titans. Play action, and out to Wild for the screen, and Wild cuts it upfield. Good piece of running, has a 1st down. Jim Wild, the junior from Juneau. Dan Weber pulled him down there, but Oshkosh, sparked by that 4th down turned into a 1st down, immediately picks up another one. They're at their own 47 now.
Well, a lineman shouldn't have tried to field that punt, even though it was partially blocked. He tried to field the punt on the fly, and that is still a fumble.
Indeed it is, and Oshkosh taking advantage. 7:20 and counting here in the 1st period. They lead it 7-6. Straight ahead, a big hole for Russ Wolf, the senior running back from Two Rivers, and he has another 1st down. Wolf said he was just not going to stay out of this game. A severe ankle sprain suffered in the lacrosse game. He did not practice all week, was running in pain when I watched them work out over at Oshkosh on Friday, but he said, I'll be there. They're not going to keep me out of this game.
And he is really put together, about 5'6", around 200 pounds, about 190, and that's what you call being put together.
At the 41-yard line of Stout. All of the Stout linemen in the up position in the radar defense.
Oh.
And Westfall as they run right at him. And this is what they did last year successfully against the radar.
Randy Pfeiffer with a nice trap block. He came from his guard position and put a block on Maurice Britz to allow the ball carrier to cut inside. They're getting some good crisp blocking, doing some trapping in there.
What do you think of this radar? I guess the theory is there aren't a lot of great big players in Division III.
Yeah.
You rely on quickness and reaction. What's your impression of what you've seen, Johnny?
Well, so far they're doing okay, but the thing is now you can see they are down. They're not up. See the 4-down lineman on a 2nd down and short yardage. They're down. They've gotten out of the radar.
It is 2nd and 4, and they go straight ahead again with Wolf spinning and whirling and picking up another 1st down. Russ Wolf, well, if that ankle's hurting him, he's sure not showing it. Weber and Schneider making the tackle for Stout. But Oshkosh, imagine that. They were punting 4 plays ago, and here they are now with a 1st down at the 30-yard line.
They say that you can run against that. Now they're back into their radar. You see, they're all up on the defensive line, and a lot of coaches think you can run right at it, no matter what, because they can't get good traction or play off a block.
Play action pass intercepted. It is Kurt Wenzel picking it up, and Wenzel brings it back up over the 35 to the 36-yard line, where the quarterback, Brad Hitt, knocked him out of bounds. Big defensive play by Kurt Wenzel. And Wenzel, a sophomore from Menasha.
Kurt Wenzel's had 2 or 3 pretty good plays today. And that time he just dropped off there. He was in a zone coverage, and the pass was just thrown short, and he made the interception. On the roll, you see Brad Hitt off the fake, play action, and then he just doesn't throw it far enough up and over, and there was the interception by Wenzel, and it's going to be Brad Hitt, number 11, who's going to have to come back and make the tackle, and does a pretty good job on it, too.
So Stout has stopped the Oshkosh drive. As we see the play one more time, and Hitt, seeing he's been picked off, turns to defense, and he made the tackle. Back live to give us to Jesse Hughes. Hughes gets to the 40-yard line. Pickup of 5 on the play. Bill Pluker, junior from Crivets, on the tackle. Many players of German extraction on the Oshkosh team, as you might expect in this Wisconsin area of German beer makers and German dairy people. Jesse Hughes. Fine piece of running for the junior for Stout. It is 2nd and a long 5 at the 40-yard line of Wisconsin Stout. 5:08 and counting here in the 1st half. Out of the wishbone, Myshock reading the tackle, reading the end, pitches it off now. And it is Bob Johnson picking up about 4 yards. Over the 45, they'll spot it at about the 46-yard line, where Steve Jorgensen junior from Oshkosh North, forced him out of bounds.
Another good block by number 24, Jesse Hughes. He really blocks out there. And I think if you talk about Division III football as opposed to Division I, what is the difference? I think it's a little bit obvious. The kids are not quite as big, and they're not quite as fast, but they play just as hard.
Well, I guess that makes them small and slow, but they do indeed play hard. And they have played well. We've seen some good football in this first half of play. Good fundamental blocking and tackling and some good playmaking. Zimmerman stopped after a gain of a yard by Tom Schiesler. Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris bringing you this Division III action live from beautiful Menominee, Wisconsin on the shores of Lake Menomin. And timeout is called by Wisconsin Stout as Glenn Myshak will come over to talk things over with his head coach Bob Kamish. 4:34 to go here in this first half. One of the pretty co-eds here to enjoy the action, and at the end of this first half of play, we'll be going to our studios in New York, where we'll be joining Brent Musburger, Irv Cross, and Ara Parsegian with scores and highlights of the day's action and a preview of the big Penn State-Alabama game coming up next Saturday on CBS NCAA coverage.
Alabama's what? Are they ranked 4th?
Well, I tell you,
Penn State's, I can't remember from this week.
They're in the top group. Let's put it that way. And that's always always exciting action when you've got people like Todd Blackledge, of course. Some people touting him for the Heisman Trophy, along with Elway and Herschel Walker. 2nd and 8 when play resumes here at Wisconsin Stout. Ball at the 48-yard line. And the Blue Devils of Stout trail by a point. They must be a little bit frustrated. They've been moving the ball on the ground, but they have scored only one touchdown and missed a point after, something that Clay Vager doesn't do very often. Well, another game we're covering today on CBS, Occidental is out of the University of San Diego, out in front of them, 7-0 in the second period. 2nd and 8. As we are ready to go again with action here. Stout. Myshak riding that ball to the fullback, and it's an option pass from the halfback, and it's broken up. Hughes throwing the ball, and back on the coverage was Don Warmington, knocking the ball away from the intended receiver, John Livingston. Don Warmington, a senior from Topeka, Kansas, making the defensive play.
So Jesse Hughes gave it a try. The pass was there, but that Oshkosh did not fall for it, and Warmington came up with a good play. No dice for Livingston.
Both the halfbacks, Jesse Hughes and Bob Johnson, will throw the ball on the halfback pass play for Stout. But it was well covered by Oshkosh. 3rd down. Play action. Myshak complete to Kramer, makes an outstanding catch and a real good hit. And Doug Destach made the tackle. And evidently it is ruled incomplete. He did not hold on. Looked like Kramer had the ball. It's on the far side of the field from us. Let's see it again on videotape replay.
He was open and the ball was there, but so was the defensive back as Destach comes up and catches him in midair and tips him. And when you get tipped like that down, boy, he came right down on his head. Here's a better vantage point.
And there's the ball coming loose indeed. And it was the tackle by Doug Destach, a senior from Rice Lake, that caused the ball to be dropped. Galeotto hits it from his own 36-yard line. A fair catch is signaled, and the ball bounces into the end zone. Galeotto has been doing a fine job punting the football for Stout today. 4:14 remaining first half, and Oshkosh continues to lead it. 7-6 here at Nelson Field in Menominee. And look at this. The Brewers are making Wisconsin fans happy so far. 3-0.
That's 1 run per inning, so it looks like they're getting on the board every inning. You know, we talk about this football game, this college conference. They have overtime, sudden death overtime here in this Wisconsin State Conference.
Yes, they do, and Stout's been involved in it twice already in 4 games this season. And they won both of them. That's why they're unbeaten at 4-0. All right, Oshkosh with the football. Ball carrier is Russ Wolf, number 22. Picking up about 1.5 yards on the play. 2nd down. Brian Ness, number 78, a junior from Franklin, Minnesota, and Todd Shue, the linebacker from De Pere, Wisconsin, making the tackle.
In talking to both coaches, they said that they had no problems getting their players up for this game. As soon as they heard that there was going to be television. Every practice, the best practices they've had all year.
Dave Hochtritt said he'd never seen the locker room yesterday in Oshkosh. Like it was like a high school team. They're so excited. And they were loose and looking forward to it. And they're playing well. Gary Gogger, a sophomore from Oshkosh North, is stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Little or no gain. It was Tom O'Connor, linebacker number 50, putting the stop on him. So it'll be third and still about 9 to go. And there are the Dodgers and the Giants tied at 2 in the second inning. Another final game of the season affecting the pennant race. Third down, pardon me, and 9 on the draw play. Russ Wolf, and Stout didn't buy it at all. They were there. Number 78, Ness, and number 50, O'Connor, to stop them right at the line of scrimmage. So 3 tries gain only a yard. They will have to punt. Line of scrimmage at the Oshkosh 21-yard line. Back to receive the punt, Dan Lawler, as we see Dave Hochtritt, the head coach of Oshkosh, about to confer with the press box. And the punt by Jim Wild comes down and takes an Oshkosh bounce, forcing Lawler back inside his 30. Lawler up the sideline, gets to about the 36-yard line, where it will be spotted for first down for Stout. He's pushed out by Ted Torno. Torno, a real fire plug of an offensive lineman, 6 feet, 215-pound junior.
Well, the Stout fans are going a little bit wild there. They see that television camera at 7 to 6, as you say. We have 2 minutes and 16 seconds left in the first half. Plenty of time for a drive. However, they don't have a 2-minute warning.
How big is the stadium here at Nelson Field? I'm sure people are wondering. Well, this seats about 4,500, and it is nearly filled today, and they've invited some high school teams in the area, and they're sitting on the far side. This is Johnson. Johnson slips as he tried to make the turn at the corner and picked up about 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 8.
One thing about Glenn Myshak, the quarterback, is taking it from Steve Jorgensen every time he pitches out. Number 83 puts the clobber on him, which he's entitled to do because he pitches at the last second. Stout is the best. Let's say there's NFL. At least we don't strike.
Well, they're not getting paid. See, there are no money issues here. They're just playing for the love of it. 2nd down and 7, and it is complete to Livingston. Good pass from Myshak. On the coverage was Mike Hughes, number 45, the freshman from Plymouth.
Okay, on the move, the down and out, right on the dime.
So it is first down for Stout at midfield. Play action again. Myshak again to Livingston. Wide open in front of Hughes. And another first down for Stout inside the 40 of Oshkosh.
They were able to stop the clock with that one as Myshak looks to the sidelines for a play in from Bob Kamish, who's giving his signals right now, and they look like dandy signals, more than a third base coach would do for the Milwaukee Brewers.
So it is first down again at the 39-yard line where they spot the ball, and Myshak on the option, pitching to Johnson. Johnson gets a good block, takes it upfield for a gain of about 2 on the play. And Jesse Hughes made the block on number 42, Steve Menzel, but Johnson got only about 3 before he was stopped.
I've been quietly watching Jesse Hughes. He is a tremendous blocker. I don't think he's missed today.
We're down to 1:13 remaining in the first half with a timeout on the field and a 2nd and 7 upcoming for Stout. They would dearly love to take the lead in this football game before we come up to halftime with Brent Urbanera back at our studios in New York with scores and highlights and a preview of the big game next week on CBS NCAA coverage, Penn State and Alabama. Dave Hochgrid hoping his team can hang on to that 1-point margin, maybe add some more in the second half. Stout has the football in Oshkosh territory.
One thing about Glenn Myshak, there he is, number 10. He said the only thing that was disappointing to him was that this game was not going to be televised into West Ellis, into Milwaukee. I haven't been able to figure out why, but he says, gosh, our first time on TV, my folks are watching, and he says it's not going into West Ellis. So maybe we can push a few buttons and get into West Ellis for a little bit.
Yeah, that's really a shame. The local station, I guess, opted there not to carry the game. It is second down and 7 to go for Stout, and of course Oshkosh upset Stout last year. Stout had a fine season. They were the favorites, and down at Oshkosh, the Titans beat them 21-14. Brad Hitt had himself quite an afternoon, and right now Oshkosh holding a 1-point margin here on the home field of the Blue Devils of Stout. Out of the wishbone, wide to the left is Livingston. In motion is Johnson. Myshak, play action again, riding that ball, and it is intercepted by Steve Menzel. And Oshkosh comes up with a big defensive play as the teams have traded interceptions, and with time winding down in the first half, 1:05 on the clock, Menzel comes up with a big interception as Stout was driving.
He just didn't throw it up far enough as Menzel's number 42 spotted the ball, just leaped up there, took it, and got hurt on the run back. I don't know how seriously, but at least he got the ball for his team, and so now Oshkosh has it with 1:05, as you said, Tim, plenty of time for their own little drive, as they have the two wingers out here.
So Oshkosh with the first down at their own 35-yard line. They hold a 1-point margin. Rolling out and being dropped is the quarterback, Brad Hitt, and it's Brian Ness, a 6'4 junior from Franklin, Minnesota. Big loss on the play. Stout hoping they can get the ball back, but the clock is running with 45 seconds.
I think, you sure Brian Ness wasn't offside? He got across there so fast. Great play by Brian Ness.
So it is second down and 19 for Oshkosh, with 29 seconds and counting on the clock. Oshkosh, I'm sure, be happy just to go in with a 1-point lead. That is Westfall eluding one tackler and picking up about 4 yards on the play before Kurt Wenzel, number 48, sophomore from Menasha, who has the interception for Stout, made the tackle.
Oshkosh in no hurry. They are going to, as you said, take the lead to halftime, 7-6.
So there's the clock winding down to zeros across, and at halftime here at Nelson Field, the Titans from Wisconsin Oshkosh have got themselves the lead, and they have been able to blunt the offense of the Stout team here, the home team in Menominee, Wisconsin. Managed a touchdown by quarterback Glenn Myshak at the end of an 80-yard drive that was impressive, but Kurt Vagert missed the point after, and Oshkosh had opened the scoring after recovering a Todd Zimmerman fumble at the 44-yard line of Stout. Oshkosh took it in with Brad Westfall scoring from 16 yards out to take that 7-0 lead. Well, we'd like to welcome those who have just joined us from our telecast of the Baldwin-Wallace-Wittenberg game, won by Baldwin-Wallace, the number 2 ranked team in Division III, and another close battle as usual with their arch rival Wittenberg friends, 16-14 here at Nelson Field in beautiful Menominee, Wisconsin. The score at halftime is Wisconsin Oshkosh 7, unbeaten, and number 4 ranked Wisconsin Stout 6. We'll be back with halftime activities after a message about an upcoming show on CBS and a word from your local station.
Sunday, it's Archie and Gloria. First, Archie's caught in a lover's quarrel. Then Gloria's thrilled about her first date.
Contain yourself.
2 great comedies, Sunday.
This is CBS.
There's an art to brewing in God's country. You start with the finest grains. Add choice, imported, and domestic hops and water. Virgin pure spring water. Then you age it, slowly, naturally, in the old world brewing tradition known as poisoning. Heileman's old style. Pure brewed in God's country, slowly and naturally.
A disaster waiting to happen.
Key at any moment.
The ultimate disaster.
Do you really think for 1 minute that I'd put people into a building that wasn't safe?
The price was right.
A tidal wave of destruction.
Get back! Get back!
Don't miss the encore performance of
Dan Haggerty and Barbara Edenstar in Condominium, Sunday night at 10:30. Businessmen, an old idea whose time has come again. From Merchandising Advertising Specialty Service. Keep your name in front of the public, and they'll remember you. And MASS has the hot items to help you fulfill your advertising and merchandising plans. Thousands of items to choose from, each one a billboard for your business. Contact Merchandising Advertising Specialty Service in Green Bay on Gross Avenue, 3 blocks south of the Midway Motor Lodge.
WBAY-TV, Channel 2, Green Bay.
Building a positive attitude in today's youth, preparing better citizens for tomorrow. These are goals of the NCAA's Volunteers for Youth program. Volunteers for Youth are college student athletes who share their time and talents by working with junior high school-aged young people at NCAA colleges. NCAA Volunteers for Youth, helping young people prepare for their future. The preceding message provided by the NCAA.
Let's begin this sports news update by getting you right up to the moment in Major League Baseball. The one-game shootout for the American League Eastern Division title. Milwaukee leading Baltimore 3-1 as shortstop Robin Yount has hit 2 home runs in that game for the Brewers. And now, jumping, of course, over to the National League, Atlanta and San Diego are scoreless in the fourth. The storyline there is the fact that the San Diego pitcher, Tim Lawler, has held the Braves hitless through 4 at-bats. Meanwhile, the Dodgers had jumped ahead of the Giants on a 2-run home run by Ron Cey with Steve Garvey on, but the Giants have rallied to tie it against Fernando Valenzuela. Now, in professional football, of course, the strike still is on, but I've been told by our Irv Cross that they are going to stage an all-star game next week in Washington, a Players Association all-star game. And Irv, what are the details? Who's playing who?
Well, you have the AFC East All-Stars and NFC East All-Stars playing at RFK Stadium next Sunday. Now, Chris Hamburger, the former linebacker from the Washington Redskins, will be the NFC East head coach, and Tom Maddy will be the AFC East head coach. And, you know, it's nobody really thought they'd be able to pull this thing off, but it's going to go on the air through an independent network.
Who are some of the players? Who's agreed to go?
Some of the key players, Joe Theismann, the quarterback, and Richard Todd, a quarterback for the East, and, you know, which are kind of surprising names. But on the defensive side for the NFC East, listen to these linebackers. Lawrence Taylor, here you are right now, the quarterbacks right now, Theismann and Todd, and Lomax for the East. But the defense for the NFC East, the linebacker core, Lawrence Taylor, Jerry Robinson, Brad Van Pelt, Harry Carson, Frank LeMaster, all Pro Bowl type players.
As a coach, if you had some players going into a game like that, what would be your concern?
Well, I'd be greatly concerned about injury, obviously, and there's nothing to gain in a situation like that. You've trained them, you've got all the background that they have in their offensive philosophies, audibles and so forth, and go out and risk yourself like that. As a football coach, I'm amazed that some of them are playing in this game.
You know, I have to believe, Irv, that this may be a negotiating bluff. Not that the game won't be played, but doesn't this turn the pressure up a little bit?
Well, a couple of things occur here, Brent. First of all, Ed Garvey has said a number of times that he thinks that the owners may not challenge this game because they might be afraid of what the NFL players' standard contract really says. Do they have a right to play outside of the National Football League? And the other thing is, the reason why the players have played is because they have an insurance policy with Lloyd's of London for career-ending insurance. If a player gets hurt in this game, they'll pay them the face value of their contract over a long period of time.
We're going to take a look at what we have got scheduled next Saturday here on CBS, and we will do that right after this message.
America's colleges, outstanding resources improving the quality of life, providing diversified career opportunities. Social welfare is contributing to higher education's role in serving society. The University of Chicago features one of the nation's finest programs.
You've got to start with hope and idealism and sensitivity, and ultimately temper that with a whole lot of practical skills, some realism, some willingness to fight with systems around you.
The sense of self-esteem has to be pretty intact. It has to be pretty firm and solid, because you don't get a lot of pats on the back for the work that you do. You certainly don't get a lot of money for what you do. And you're doing work that a lot of people would rather not know about.
It is a profession that is sensitive to the needs of people, and it is concerned about their well-being.
10 years ago, students were motivated primarily by a sense of idealism about what society should be able to do or how society should be able to change. I think what we're seeing now is students who have probably a stronger commitment to institutional forms of dealing with social problems.
I think it's watching people grow.
America's energy is mind power. The preceding message provided by the NCAA.
End of shift, the new day's dawning. Partner's late, but the coffee's warming. Here's the way you share your morning. Maxwell House and you get that good, the last drop feeling. With Maxwell House, only Maxwell House gives you good to the last drop feeling. Maxwell House.
There go your auto insurance rates. Because most insurers won't forgive even one accident that's your fault. But Kemper will. Count on the cavalry. If you've been with Kemper through 5 years of safe driving, your first at-fault accident won't mean a rate increase. To get first accident forgiveness, call out the cavalry. Once you compare Kemper, you'll ride with us.
This bud's for everyone who's ready for the action when the whistle blows. Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This bud's for you.
All of you fans of college football are going to want to circle next Saturday on your calendar, because right here on CBS, we're going to have one of the games of the year. Penn State will be taking on the Bear Bryant's Alabama team. And what a showdown that's going to be. The NCAA today will kick it all off at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And, of course, last night the Bear rolled to his fourth straight victory. But, you know, some have questioned the Tide's soft early schedule. It's included the likes of Arkansas State. But next Saturday, no question.
For the first time in a long time, the Nittany Lions are looking to a quarterback. Todd Blackledge, only a junior. Just rarely has preseason Heisman Trophy candidate Kurt Warner shown the stuff that made him an All-American last year, but one of those times came last week against Nebraska. Warner then completed what he set up with this touchdown run. And if he's on, that Tide defense will have its hands full.
They're a fine ball team with Todd Blackledge at quarterback and Kurt Warner, running back. You can't beat that.
Last week's win over Nebraska was pulled out in the final minute. Fourth down. Blackledge to Kenny Jackson. Then Mike McCloskey does a marvelous job of keeping 1 foot inbounds. And the finish was simply one that everyone will recall.
Nope, they're going to play action fake. Blackledge over the middle. Did he get it? Touchdown! Kurt Bowman!
Beating Nebraska in the last 4 seconds gave us confidence that we can beat any team in the country.
I'm sure that Alabama's going to be every bit as tough as Nebraska was last week, but I think that we'll be ready for them.
But the Tide is on a roll. Last night, 34-7 over Arkansas State. Out of the wishbone. Look at the outside man. Paul Cutruth, get in. Quarterback Walter Lewis has had an easy time as a ball handler, but next week will be a lot tougher.
Penn State, they were somewhat in the same position that we were in last year with the young players. A lot of their young players now are juniors, and they've grown up and performing well. I know the quarterback, Todd Blackledge, he's doing a tremendous job for them.
But the Tide may have to go to the air out of the bone next week against Penn State.
Penn State game always has a special meaning to us. The last 2 times out, we've defeated them, and I know they hold that dear at heart, and I know they're going to want to win the game real bad, and I also hope that we can keep them from winning.
I tell you, it's going to be a great game. No prediction. Good game. That's all I can predict.
You know, that extra week off for Paterno, preparing for the Bears, is that going to help Penn State?
Well, I think so. I think he has borrowed a page from Bear Bryant, giving himself an extra week or an easy game. And the thing about it, though, he's got to go down to the Bears' lair to play, and that's Birmingham, Alabama. And you don't win very often down there. And a year ago, that score was 31-16, but it was closer than that with Penn State falling behind in the game. And the difference in that game, and I remember it vividly, it must have been countless number of times that Alabama stopped Penn State inside that 5-yard line. And I think that key will be whether or not Penn State has solved the goal line defense of Alabama. Now, this is Sunday, but that's my prediction.
Todd Blackledge had a great year, hasn't he, Irv?
Well, a great year. He comes from great roots, too. His father knows an offensive line coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Ron Blackledge. But, you know, he's a serious candidate for the Heisman Trophy now, and I sit around the Heisman people quite a bit, and, of course, the vote will come in from the sports writers around the country. But I think with Blackledge, Elway, and Herschel Walker, you're probably the 3 top Heisman Trophy candidates.
Marvelous pro prospects, too,
Yeah,
all 3 of them. And we will continue with our special coverage of Division III football here on CBS in just a moment.
Right now, the one thing you want most is an opportunity.
The last thing I want is for my boy to get hurt. So I gave him an Norelco. It treats him with tender, loving care. Doesn't nick or cut like blades can, and shaves his face baby smooth. He loves his Norelco, because it cuts down whiskers like Mark Gastineau cuts down quarterbacks.
Right, Mom. I swear by my Norelco.
I wish he wouldn't swear.
Norelco Rototrack. Tough on your beard, not on your face.
Hey, here it comes. Look, those honest eyes, that square jaw.
That dead raccoon.
I'll trade you this for your hot dog. You still take a great picture.
Still?
You know how I got this coat? It knocked over your garbage can.
He played football?
Well, he used to be a lot taller.
Now there's an honest face.
That's why he was acquitted.
If you don't have a sun camera, there's something left out of your life.
Mother wanted a picture of you.
Why?
Next Saturday on CBS Sports, a classic coaches matchup. Joe Paterno's Nittany Lions face Bear Bryant's Crimson Tide, plus other regional excitement. Next Saturday on CBS Sports.
Well, the Prescott High School Band is just entertained at halftime in Nelson Field in beautiful Menominee, Wisconsin, where Oshkosh leads Wisconsin Stout 7-6 as we await the beginning of the 3rd period of play. Another upset in the making, perhaps. Stout is unbeaten, ranked number 4 in the nation. And Oshkosh, who beat them a year ago, trying to do it again and get themselves back into the Wisconsin Conference race. Well, Johnny, certainly here, they don't seem to be too concerned about the NFL strike. They whipped out these T-shirts here in Menominee, Wisconsin. Who needs the NFL? The CBS Sports Game of the Week has Stout and Oshkosh via satellite.
These shirts are all over town, all over the state, as a matter of fact.
Well, you know, last year ABC was going to do a game out of here. They ran into some technical difficulties. The players didn't know until the game was over that the telecast never got out of here. We're making sure it gets out today. That's our microwave dish going directly to the satellite. And so, indeed, via satellite, Stout and Oshkosh are seen today, Division III on CBS Sports. Well, I'm sure you want to find out more about these 2 schools, 2 fine institutions, one down in Oshkosh, one here in Menominee. Let's take a closer look at the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh and UW-Stout.
A population of 11,000 students and 665 faculty members make up the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh, which is located 50 miles southwest of Green Bay and 90 miles northwest of Milwaukee. Founded in 1871, the university now offers 51 subject area majors and 14 pre-professional programs. The valuable educational experience coupled with the opportunity of fond memories which will last a lifetime make the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh the perfect school.
UW-Stout is located in Menominee, Wisconsin, a predominantly rural community surrounded by rolling farmland. Stout was founded as a private institution in 1893 and has evolved from a small manual training school to a university of over 7,000 students. Stout offers degrees in a variety of programs related to industry, technology, home economics, applied art, education, and the helping professions. The schools of home economics and industry and technology are the largest in the United States.
CBS Sports coverage of today's game is sponsored by Radio Shack, the computer experts with over 6,500 locations nationwide. And by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you.
Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris back in beautiful Menominee, Wisconsin, and I don't use the term lightly with these trees in the area just blaze with autumn colors along the shores of Lake Menominee. It is indeed a beautiful setting for a Division III college football game, a perfect afternoon for college football. The first half statistics show that Stout, with 11 first downs and 129 yards rushing, has been able to produce only 6 points, however, and Clay Bagert missing the point after, making it possible for Oshkosh to maintain the lead as they scored the first touchdown on a run by Brad Westfall from 16 yards out, and Glenn Myshock, the Stout quarterback, scored for Stout from 15 yards out. And in the turnover department, Stout has turned it over twice. It has stopped their drives, and one interception by Oshkosh, are giving up the ball on an interception. And, of course, Menzel making a key interception for Oshkosh in the final seconds of the first half with Stout driving. There's a presentation to an alumnus on the field here, and we will be about ready to begin the second half of play as we see the head coach from Oshkosh, Dave Hochtritt, who has certainly got to be pleased with the defensive work of his team in the first half. Leading rusher, not unexpected, has been Bob Johnson of Stout, the second all-time rusher in Stout history. He has 60 yards on 11 carries in the first half of play. Well, of course, we will have more NCAA action next week on CBS Sports, starting with the NCAA today at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, and our big game, Penn State and Alabama, and then there will be other important regional games as well. Check your local listings for the time and game in your area. Penn State and Alabama headlining our NCAA coverage next week. And there is Bob Kamish, head coach of Wisconsin Stout, who must be a little bit frustrated, Johnny Morris, that his team upset last year by Oshkosh, unbeaten this year, figuring to be the heavy favorite here, not able to score more than an unconverted touchdown in the first half.
And in this game, actually, they have twice the yardage of Oshkosh, and as you said, losing the game 7-6. An interesting statistic we didn't show up there is that each team has only one penalty from the first half. Now, that's a lot better than you get in Division I or in the pros. The Bears get 10, 12 penalties a game. In some of these pro teams, we have one penalty by each team so far in this football game.
I think you have to be impressed with a very disciplined play on the part of both of these teams. They are well coached. They block and tackle well. And, well, again, as we've commented, obviously they're not as big or as fast as players in Division I. They're good athletes, and we're certainly up for this football game today on CBS. And it's been a pleasure to be with the people here in Menominee. Warren Bolus, the athletic director, and, of course, Chuck Bilo, the SID, have been most helpful, realizing that these gentlemen, along with Scott Birchtold over at Oshkosh, the SID there, had to scramble around in a hurry to get things ready for us to come over and get this telecast on the air, and we sure appreciate the effort they made.
You know, it was kind of nice being downtown. It's Menominee is obviously a college town. The college has 7,000 students, and the town only has 12,000. And the college, it's the whole college atmosphere. You walk downtown, you can't walk 10 feet without seeing a college student.
That's for sure. And last night, even in the rather poor weather that they had here with rain and gray skies, kids were out enjoying themselves on a Saturday night as they do in small college towns around the nation. So it will be Randy Sprangers kicking it off for Oshkosh as they protect a 1-point margin, and Stout trying to get it going, get into the end zone here in the second half of play. The deep man is Keith Laube, number 45. Spranger's backup offensive tackle gets a pretty good hit away. It comes down at the 6-yard line, bobbled by Laube. He recovers now and brings it well up over the 20-yard line to the 23. Beautiful afternoon for football. In this stadium in Nelson Field, seating about 4,500. Most of the seats are taken. We commented earlier some Oshkosh fans were going to make the 4-hour trip up by bus. Had their reservations all made in the bus charters and decided it might be more fun to stay home and watch it on CBS.
Well, they heard there was going to be rain today also. You know, they had heard that weather forecast, and it didn't turn out that way. It's beautiful.
Couldn't possibly rain today on this big game in Menominee. First down for the University of Wisconsin Stout. That is Jesse Hughes, a junior from Lake Geneva, picking up about 4 yards on the play. Glenn Myshock, number 10, the quarterback, a sophomore from West Dallas. Bob Johnson, the senior running back, number 22. And the up back in the wishbone, number 32, Todd Zimmerman, a senior from Cedarburg. Lepre, Hayes, Helm, Goodnetter, Sager, Sharkey, and Kramer across the front. Mike Kramer comes wide right, number 87.
Double coverage on Kramer.
He's their main man. 15 pass catches coming into this game. Right up the middle, Zimmerman with a big hole. And Zimmerman's got running room. Over the 40. Zimmerman, one man to stop him. Zimmerman to the 15 inside the 10-yard line. Jorgensen coming way back from the line of scrimmage, pushed him out of bounds. But Todd Zimmerman, the 5'9", 200-pound senior from Cedarburg, Wisconsin, with a big play.
Yes, wide open. Good trap blocking. Now watch Zimmerman put a move on dispatch, number 7, right here. He dips back to the other side, and that was the key. Todd Zimmerman, the big fullback, and he runs pretty good. And there's Mike Kramer, 87, the wide receiver, with a good block from behind. And Zimmerman got the most out of it. Nice play, and what a way to start the second half for this Stout team.
So Stout at the 11-yard line. They have spotted the ball in scoring position. Jesse Hughes cutting it back up the middle, dives to the 6-yard line. Pulled down from behind by number 73, Scott Brzezinski. Brzezinski, the freshman from Menasha, with help from Steve Jorgensen. Brzezinski's played effectively in this football game. They have Ted Hansen, a more experienced defensive tackle, out with a broken arm. And it is a gain of close to 6. Second and a long 4 to go for a first down. The pitch back. Bob Johnson trying to get outside. A flag is down, and Johnson forced out of bounds at the 3. First man to hit him was Mike Hughes. Linebacker Bill Pluker, number 61, forced him out. Let's see what the flag's about.
It looked like the left side of the offensive line moved a little bit too soon. They got messed up on the snap signal.
So it is a penalty against Stout. A tough break after the big play by Zimmerman had taken them deep into Oshkosh territory. Oshkosh leading 7-6. We are just underway in the second half.
John Livingston comes into the lineup for Stout as number 85, Dave Lepre, comes out.
Offense. Down is 2.
Illegal motion. Bill Coughlin, the referee from La Crosse, Wisconsin, making the call, and that backs them up. They're back at the 11-yard line. In motion goes Bob Johnson. Myshock wants to throw, now pitches out to Jesse Hughes. And Hughes picks up about 4 yards before he's pulled down by number 87, Tom Schiesler, the sophomore from Oshkosh North. Getting the ball inside the 10-yard line again to about the 9. It'll be third down and 7 for a first down. They need to get to the 2-yard line to get a first down.
I think Myshock he wanted to throw first, and he had a safety valve there, and that play almost really backfired on him.
A 66-yard run by Todd Zimmerman, bringing them deep into Oshkosh territory. Zimmerman, the lead back, grinds for a couple of yards. In the middle of that Oshkosh line converging on him. And the heavyweight, number 73, Brzezinski again, with help from the linebacker, senior Steve England.
Well, they centered the ball. They wanted to get Vegard in good position to go for the field goal.
It is fourth down, and Scott Vegard, who has won 3 of the 4 games for Stout. For their 4 victories, he has kicked winning field goals 3 times, and he has this one from the 14-yard line. A 24-yard try is good for Scott Vagert, and so Stout has taken the lead. Vagert, who missed the point after, kicks for 3. And so with 12:11 remaining in the 3rd period, the score is now Wisconsin Stout 9, Wisconsin Oshkosh 7.
This Bud's for everybody who races the weather to bring in the harvest.
This Bud's for all you do. The king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
From Radio Shack's world of the TRS-80 comes the Model 3 computer. And this month only, save $111. Select from Radio Shack's huge program library to aid your children's education. Plan your personal and household budgets. Or to entertain with fast-action games. You can even learn to write programs. The TRS-80 Model 3 on sale for $888 only at Radio Shack, the computer experts.
Well, some fans know how to get on TV. Look funny. That fan made it. Todd Miles will kick it off, and allow me to correct the first name of Clay Vagert. I called him Scott. Clay Vagert, a senior from Chippewa Falls, has just put Stout in front in this football game, 9-7. Miles kicks it off for Stout, and it's brought upfield. A tremendous hit. Haskowitz really racked up, but held on to the football. He is getting up slowly. John Plaskowitz, a sophomore from West Milwaukee, returning it to the 20-yard line.
You want to take a look at a good hit, Division III football? This is it right here. Here comes number 45, Keith Laube, and who else was in on that one?
Well, it looked like number 49.
Laube was in on it, too.
Yeah, I think Bruce Myers. I'm not going to be certain on that. You couldn't see it too clearly on the replay, but it is first down for Oshkosh. And they now trail by 2. In motion goes the wingback Thompson. Straight ahead is the running back, number 22, and that is Russ Wolf, the senior from Two Rivers. The scoring drive for Wisconsin. 7 plays. They went 70 yards, 66 of them by Todd Zimmerman. And Wisconsin Stout scoring drive, making it 9-7. It is now 2nd down and 7 at the 23-yard line. The quarterback, Brad Hitt, the senior from Winona, Minnesota. Hitt will keep it. Trying for the first down, comes up short by a couple. Linebacker Todd Shue, number 55, in that radar defense of Stout, making the tackle. It'll be 3rd and about 2 yards to go for Oshkosh at their own 28-yard line.
One thing about both these teams is that with the systems that they use, you got to have pretty good athletes at your quarterback spot. They got to be able to run and pitch and a little maneuverability. No drop back in the pocket passes.
Brad Hitt passed for 54% last year, leading the Wisconsin Conference. And he is passing at that same number coming into today's game. Westfall grinding it out, gets the first down yardage for Oshkosh. And it is first down at the 31. Head coach Dave Hochtritt hoping that his team can put the offense together. They showed early in the first period when they took the early lead in this football game with the opening touchdown at 7-0. First down from their own 30-yard line. Play action, good fake, and it is almost intercepted right at the line of scrimmage. It looked like Britt and number 66, Frank Lorenzen, got a hand on it. Let's see which of these linemen got it.
I think it was 66, Lorenzen. As Hitt rolled out here, he wanted to throw downfield to the left, and here comes number 66. Was it? No, it wasn't.
That's Schneider.
That was Schneider, and 66, Lorenzen came from the right side.
Dan Schneider, a 6'2 junior from Kaukauna, Wisconsin, making the defensive play. Second down.
There's that radar defense.
In motion, the wingback Thompson. They give it to Westfall. Westfall breaks one tackle, but he is closed down after a gain of a couple. It'll bring up third down and 7. They'll spot it at the 34-yard line of Oshkosh. Last year, they ran successfully up the middle. They had a couple of good plays in the first half running straight at that radar defense, but basically Stout has been able to prevent Oshkosh from running between the tackles.
You can notice in the, well, they're not in the radar defense now.
Bob Kamish, the Stout head coach, looking on, happy that his team's finally in front. They are unbeaten and ranked number 4 among the Division III teams in the country. Hitt has time, but he slipped as he released the ball. Did not get anything on it. It was intended for the wingback Dale Whitman, number 34, and it brings up 4th down. So Stout has stopped Oshkosh. Dan Lawler will go back to await the punt from Jim Wild. Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris live from Nelson Field in Menominee, Wisconsin. Stout is 2-0 in the Wisconsin Conference, trying to move into a tie for first place. Good kick by Wild. Backs up Lawler inside his own 20 to the 15. And he has nowhere to go. A flag is down, and it was Hughes with a diving tackle, making an outstanding play. Glenn Schachtner was there as well, and we'll see what the flag is about. Big punt by Jim Wild.
It may have been against Schneider. It might be against number 74, Don Schneider, with an illegal block.
Good tackle by Mike Hughes, the freshman from Plymouth, Wisconsin.
We go to the 6.
Well, one thing for sure, they're going back close to the goal line, to the 6-yard line. We'll see if we can pick up the penalty because it's a big one.
We have a clip on blue on the return. The down will be first.
Well, we couldn't hear who the culprit was. Let's see it on the replay.
I think there's 74 Schneider. They're calling him for a clip right there.
All right.
Close call, debatable too.
So they are backed up to their 6-yard line, Wisconsin Stout. That's where they'll start from when we return in the third period here.
My little girl's inside. I couldn't reach her.
We'll get her out. Smoke is a killer. Most home fire deaths are caused by smoke and gases, not flames. Learn to stay low where the air is better, like firefighters do. Crawling could save your life.
Angela!
Learn how to prevent home fires and survive in an emergency in the Fire Safety Book, free from participating Shell dealers. Come to Shell for answers.
This is the largest truck plane in the free world. Hi, Don. My name is Jim White. I'm the plant manager here. I chose Bell because I expect my communication system, and I mean voice and data, to be a tool that helps me do my job. The Bell people say, Jim, you don't have to know how to keep the system running. We'll do that for you. And they do. That's what I call service, and that's why we chose Bell.
The knowledge business.
The Wisconsin State University Conference with campuses at Eau Claire, La Crosse, Oshkosh, Platteville, River Falls, Stevens Point, Menominee, Superior, and Whitewater offer championships in 10 varsity sports. We are proud to have this opportunity to take part in the CBS Regional Football Series.
Well, here in Wisconsin, you can be sure these football fans are also following the Milwaukee Brewers. And in the 5th inning, the Brewers lead Baltimore 3-1. Here at Nelson Field, Stout will start from their 6-yard line following the clipping penalty assessed on Jim Wild's fine punt. Assessed on the return of Jim Wild's fine punt. And it is Glenn Myshock leading out the Blue Devils. Todd Zimmerman, the lead back, number 32, the senior from Cedarburg, picked up about 3 yards. Henry Van Dam, as they're in the 5-2 defense. The nose tackle, number 66, made the hit. The Dodgers and the Giants are tied at 2 in the 4th inning. And And the Braves, who have at least a tie, already clinched, lead San Diego 1-0. All right, gain of only a yard as they spotted it, and Zimmerman again is racked up right at the line of scrimmage. We got maybe one more at the most.
Well, you can see something shaping up now, Tim, is that Oshkosh is going to have a good shot at getting good, excellent field position, because Stout now has a 3rd and 12 from their own 5-yard line.
Loss of a couple of yards on the play. It's back at the 5-yard line. Rusinski diving in there to make the initial contact. A concerned coach, Bob Kamish, of Stout. In motion goes Johnson. Glenn Myshak, the sophomore quarterback, pitching it into the end zone. Jesse Hughes running it well. And Hughes has first down. Out at the 18-yard line, Don Warmington, the safety number 40, a senior from Topeka, Kansas, made the tackle.
Big play for Wisconsin. Stout got the first down. They were deep in the hole off the old option, and you got to give Myshak a lot of credit here. He's going to watch him take a shot after he throws the ball out. And then Hughes comes down, follows hard. Zimmerman cuts up the field, gets that first down, puts his nose down, and Warmington finally makes the tackle. Jesse Hughes.
Outstanding play. Boy, you pitch that ball out in the end zone, you're taking a better chance, too.
I'll tell you what.
He was right on the mark.
They're playing for keeps. They're going all the way.
Yes, they are. Myshak trying to turn it upfield is dropped by the left defensive end, Steve Jorgensen, number 83, the junior from Oshkosh North. It'll be a loss of a yard on the
There's
play.
the coach.
No gain.
There's Kamish giving him the signals. That means you're going to get slapped on the puss if you don't make it.
Looked like he was ringing the bell on a trolley.
Yeah. Those are pretty good signals. Career record, 13-8 as head coach.
3rd year as head coach after a long tenure as an assistant coach here. In motion, Bob Johnson. Myshak rolling right. He's got pressure, shakes it off. And Myshak gets over the 15 and takes a tough shot out of bounds at the 16-yard line from Jorgensen.
Jorgensen, I bet he has hit Myshak 15 times so far in this football game. Either after he throws the option or sometime throughout the game, he's hit him at least 15 times.
Yeah, they get to know each other intimately.
That's right.
When you're rolling that option out to his side. That's the man that Myshak is watching to see what play he's going to make.
Look at this. San Diego came up with 5 runs. It's 5-1 San Diego over Atlanta in the 5th inning.
We have 3rd down and 13 for Wisconsin Stout at their own 15-yard line. Myshak pitching again to Hughes. Hughes with a blocker in front, and he will be short of the first down, it appears, as Tom Schiesler, the right defensive end, number 87, made the tackle just over the 20-yard line. In fact, right at the 20, they're going to spot it, so they will be 3 yards short of the first down. However, the run by Hughes from the end zone at least got them in a position where they can back up Oshkosh into Titan territory. 6:40 remaining, 3rd period. Stout leads at 9-7, trying to remain unbeaten. Going for their 5th win. Tom Galeotto, the punter, hits it from the 13-yard line. Deep is Pat Kennedy. He'll let the ball bounce. It's a short punt, and it takes an Oshkosh bounce. It is down there by number 53, Scott Ringsdorf. And it will be spotted at the 49-yard line of Stout. So Oshkosh winds up with good field position when we return with 6:18 remaining, 3rd period.
You're looking at the 2 best reasons I take good care of my brakes. They're why I go to Midas on a regular basis. Midas inspects brakes the right way. I pull the wheel. If anything needs doing, I know it gets done right. Some people say I'm overly cautious, but I don't think so. I just feel better going to Midas.
When nothing but the best is ever gonna do, trust the Midas touch.
This Bud's for everyone who's in the groove. It's 5 minutes on the upswing of 5. Outside is 87 degrees under sunny blue skies. Stay tuned for my man Flash. I'm moving out of here, having myself an ice cold brew.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
All you do is for you.
I know.
Next Saturday on CBS Sports, a horse racing doubleheader, the Champagne Stakes and the Jockey Club Gold Cup. Watch them run next Saturday on CBS Sports.
Some people wear their hearts on their sleeves, some wear paint on their face. Blue and white of the Blue Devils fans. It is first down at the 49 of Stout. Oshkosh with the ball. Palabicki, the junior from Seymour, going straight ahead behind the center, Ropella, and the guard Torno, digging for about 5 yards, where Tom O'Connor, number 50, made the tackle. And last week, Oshkosh was beaten by Eau Claire 36-23. What a different football game today. Stout, the unbeaten 4-0 team, so far has scored only 9 points. And last week, Eau Claire had no problem running up 36 against Oshkosh. So they are pumped today. That was Palabicki again. Palabicki trying to get the first down, was stopped short by about a yard. Schneider, 74, and Smudgick, the safety, number 21, making the tackle on him at the 40-yard line. It'll be third and a long yard.
Neither team has thrown as much as we expected them to. Neither team throws a heck of a lot, but they haven't thrown many passes at all.
9-7, Stout in front. Clay Vagert's 24-yard field goal, providing the margin. In motion, the wingback. They go straight ahead with number 43, Gary Gogger, a sophomore from Oshkosh North, trying to get the first down, and he will be very close. And it will indeed depend on the spotting of the football here on forward progress.
Boy, that's going to be very, very close. It appears that he got it, though.
It does appear that he has it, and it looks like the officials want to make sure by bringing in the sticks. Referee Bill Coughlin, Ben Barrett, Scott Ott, Bill Leonard, Jay Buckley, all from La Crosse except Leonard, who is from La Crescent, Minnesota. The officiating crew here this afternoon at Nelson Field.
Boy, you're going to need a spyglass to pick this one out. It's going to be so close.
Oshkosh said they got it, and they have. So a big first down here with 5:02 remaining in the third period. We're at the 39-yard line, and well,
Wisconsin
it's
Stout,
to do that.
W-S-T-O-U-T, and that's how warm it is. Of course, up here in Wisconsin, they never get cold. They're hardy people.
That's right. Well, temperatures were in the 40s this morning, but the sun came out, and I would estimate now we're up close to 60. It's a little chilly to go bare-topped. The give is to Russ Wolf, and Wolf charges over right tackle for about 4, maybe 5 yards. Dan Schneider, the junior tackle, number 74 from Kaukauna, Wisconsin, made the tackle. O'Connor, the linebacker, giving him some help out of that radar defense we've been referring to. There's a fan enjoying the game and CBS coverage.
And notice on the radar defense, they all have their arms up, ready to push off and play off of a block so that somebody can't get to you. Just play off it and go.
Play action. And it is intercepted. Brad Hitch pass intercepted by Rick Desjardins. And Stout comes up with another big defensive play as Desjardins gets back to the Stout 28. Dave Stelzel, the tight end, number 88, made the tackle there for Oshkosh. But Stout has the football and the lead.
Okay, as usual, they throw on the run. Brad hit out off the option, just did not get the ball up and over, and he really threw into the coverage. They had 4-on-2 there. And, of course, number 19, Rick Desjardins. With the interception, Stout has the ball.
It was intended for the wingback, Thompson, but Stout will take over first down at their 28 when we return to Menominee, Wisconsin, with the score Stout 9, Oshkosh 7.
You know people like us, we're teachers, firemen, people just like you. These are the uniforms we wear at work. But these are the uniforms we wear when we serve part-time in the reserves and the National Guard.
You see, in the reserves and the Guard, you not only serve your country,
You're part of a first-rate team.
training alongside real buddies,
Yet while you serve, you can live at home.
and keep your full-time job.
Because in the reserves and the Guard, you don't have to give up one life to live another.
The Reserves and the National Guard. Talk to your local recruiter.
Nothing tastes like Hawaiian punch.
You only have to taste it once.
Taste of the flavor.
Ooh,
common plea. Anybody with children in college has had that message sent to them more ways than one. Meanwhile, in the turnover department, Wisconsin Stout turned it over 3 times, Oshkosh twice. Desjardins, the second interception by Stout today, has given them the ball at the 28-yard line of Stout. And the quarterback, Len Myshak, leads out Zimmerman, Johnson, and Hughes in the wishbone offense. And that is Bob Johnson, and they stack him up. Right at the line of scrimmage, he got maybe a yard at most. A pile-up of white Titan shirts as they remain fired up here. They trail by only 2, Jorgensen and Ruzinski making the tackle, and Van Dam getting in on it as well.
And Steve Engelland was in on there, too, number 52, right in there to play off the original ball carrier and make the play. Number 52, as you look at the CBS logo right there on his belly button. No, it's a little higher in the belly button.
The S is missing.
Yeah, you wouldn't want your belly button quite that high.
He went out for a Coke. It is 2nd and 8. And they pitch out to Jesse Hughes. He's got running room. Hughes breaks tackles, and Hughes is finally pulled down at the 40-yard line by Doug Distach, the last man who could get him, the quarterback, number 7. And again, another big play by a Stout running back. Zimmerman went 66 to set up the go-ahead field goal, and Jesse Hughes, who's been a key man all day, comes up big again.
Yeah, he usually blocks. This time, number 22, Bob Johnson, blocked for Jesse Hughes. There was the block as he went by, and Hughes made a nice move here as he cut back across the grain there, almost broke it loose there. Jesse Hughes finally brought down by number 7, Doug Distach.
A 31-yard gain for Jesse Hughes. Keith Laube has come in at running back to give Hughes a rest. And they give it to Johnson. He's got a hole. Bob Johnson. Johnson to the 10. Johnson, touchdown. Bob Johnson. And Stout has widened the margin over Oshkosh.
Well, you talk about taking charge in a football game in a hurry. A couple of electrifying runs, and Stout has widened the lead to 15-7. Good running by Bob Johnson, who deserved the hole after the block that he threw for Jesse Hughes on the play before.
40-yard touchdown run for Johnson.
There he comes right through the big block there, big wide open hole, and Johnson cut back against the grain. He's gained almost 1,000 yards last year, and this year he's going to get it for sure. Bob Johnson, touchdown, Stout.
Clay Vakert in for the point after. And he has it. So favored Wisconsin Stout has finally opened a little more breathing room in this game as they trailed 7-0 early, came back to 7-6 when they had 9-7, and now have increased their margin. With 2:51 remaining in the third quarter, Stout leads at 16-7. Let's see that play one more time. Bob Johnson, the second all-time rusher in Stout history.
Well, it was the fake of the handoff to Zimmerman up the middle that drove everybody in, that brought him in, and Johnson just cut back against the grain. He has a great instinct for the ball, and I believe he does run a 4.6 40. Nobody was going to catch him here on this one. Bob Johnson.
A senior from Hastings, Minnesota, 927 yards rushing a year ago. And a chance to become the all-time Stout rusher before the season is out. In fact, it is highly likely he will. And that would replace the record held by Steve Burr.
He averages about 68 yards a game rushing, and he's going to beat that today.
Miles kicks it off. A short kickoff taken by Plaskowitz. Plaskowitz gets out to the 25-yard line. Pretty good return. And Oshkosh will now have to crank it up. There's Bob Johnson, and he's a happy young man. Near the conclusion of today's game, as well as on every CBS NCAA football telecast this season, the announcers will be selecting the Chevrolet Most Valuable Players from each competing team. Chevrolet donates a $1,000 scholarship to the General Scholarship Fund of each player's school to assist qualified students in all chosen academic disciplines. This is the 12th year of the Chevrolet Scholarship Program. We at CBS Sports are delighted to be part of such a beneficial activity. They give it to Westfall, and Westfall on first down breaks tackles. Westfall out over the 45 to the 47. So Brad Westfall, with only Morris Britt back there to catch up with him, has Oshkosh right back at midfield. So they're not about to buckle.
And Westfall's not known as a power runner, but Westfall came back against the flow, and Smudgick is right there on him, but no, he breaks the tackle, takes off, and breaks 2 tackles, and gets Oshkosh on the roll. Oshkosh has not scored in the third quarter so far this season.
Mo Britz had to come all the way back from the line of scrimmage to get him. Westfall, a junior from Menasha. And they give it this time to Russ Wolf, number 22, and he picks up about 4, maybe 5 on the play. Over the midfield stripe. And over that logo designed by Bob Johnson, the man who just scored for Wisconsin Stout. Britz and Shue on the tackle again. And it is 2nd and a long 5 for Oshkosh. And that run by Westfall, Johnny, immediately after the score, you got to believe has given them a lift to get themselves right back into things here. Slot formation right. Now they bring the man in motion. Thompson, the wingback. They give it to Westfall. Another big hole, and he has another first down. Westfall inside the 40 to the 38 for Todd Shue, the sophomore from De Pere. And O'Connor, the sophomore from Wanakee, made the tackle.
They're running right at that radar defense, and that's what some coaches say you got to do. They're all up on their haunches rather than down with any kind of force to withstand a straight-on block. Brad Westfall, 12 times for 74 yards. Bob Johnson has 12 carries for 103 yards.
Time winding down, third period, and Wolf is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Little mistiming on the play, and of course Wolf missed practice all week with an ankle injury. And Don Hagedorn and Dan Schneider were right there to grab him as soon as he got the football. Loss of a yard on the play. 2nd and 11. 1:08 remaining, third quarter.
Mike Thompson came in with the play, number 8. The wide receiver brought the play in. And they have
Don Schultz is back in at tackle as Randy Sprangers has gone out. In motion comes Thompson. On the option. Hit out to Thompson, and he takes a hit at the 35-yard line. Dan Weber, a real banger in that secondary of Stout, number 27, the sophomore from Racine. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Big play here for Oshkosh. 46 seconds on the clock remaining in the third quarter. They trail 16-7. Wide to the right goes Jim Wild, number 20. Brad Hitt, the senior quarterback, checking the play with Russ Wolf, the lone setback behind him, number 22. Hitt rolling, has time, he hits the tight end. And that is Dave Stelzel.
Oh, the official really got it that time.
Stelzel trying to struggle for first down yardage, did not make it. And one of the officials wound up right in the middle of the pileup. Tom O'Connor made the tackle with help from Dan Schneider. Now what do you do, Johnny? A lot of time left, of course. 19 seconds remaining in the third period.
Well, they're down to the 32-yard line.
They're going to punt.
I don't know how far a punt will get you when you're already at the 32. You might as well give it a shot. That's only my opinion.
Now, Oshkosh has called timeout with 9 seconds remaining before the third quarter would come to a close, and they have 4th and 5. They are at the 31-yard line.
I think they want to think it over, and it was 9 seconds, did you say? 9 seconds, 4th and 5 on the 32. You're down by 9 points.
They're moving the ball here. My feeling would be that they would try to keep the momentum, not rely on their defense, which has just given up a couple of big gainers on the ground.
I have to agree. That's I'm sure that
they're moving it pretty well right now.
Thinking the same thing, and that's why they called that timeout.
So I would think that they'd say, hey, let's try and get it here and get ourselves back in to a 2-point margin if we can, as we see 9 seconds remaining third quarter, and Brad Hitt has come back on the field. So they were listening to us. They're obviously plugged into our headsets, Johnny, and Dave Oaktree is going to go with our strategy. And, of course, if they're stopped, we'll get letters.
Brad Hitt hasn't had one of his better games at quarterback today. So we'll have to see if they go by the air or with an option. They're up in a very tight formation.
Jim Wild, his favorite receiver, is split to the right.
They'll probably roll him one way.
They throw it out to get the screen for Wild, and Wild is tackled and is stopped short. Good defensive play by number 48, Kurt Wenzel, who read that and would not let Wild get to the first down marker. He was short by about 1.5 yards.
Good play by Kurt Wenzel, and that's his third major big play of the game.
Yes, it is. He has an interception to his credit as well.
Well, the fake of the run, actually, when you're going to do this kind of like a wide receiver screen, you got to get that ball out there a little sooner, let him get his hands on the ball. There's Wenzel, 48, with the good play.
One blocker did his job, but there was only one blocker there against 2 tacklers, and Wenzel was free. So it is first down for Stout. Jesse Hughes has had himself a fine afternoon for Stout. Gets it out to the 38-yard line, and that brings time to a close here in the third period at Nelson Field in Menominee. We'll be back with fourth quarter action after this message and a word from your local station.
Now the Cavalry has changed the way car insurance works with Kemper Total, new car repair or replacement coverage. If your car is ever badly damaged in an accident, ordinary insurance might not pay enough to put you on the road again. But Kemper Total will pay the cost to repair your car if possible or replace it with a brand new car of the same make. About $3 extra a month in most cases. Kemper Total. Only from the Cavalry.
It's not magic. Just a bright idea from Aladdin. An energy-saving way to stay warm. Economical and efficient. Clean and safety tested. Aladdin kerosene heat. Redesigned, refined, and perfected. Let you put the heat where the people are. Bring home a bright idea. It's not magic. It's Aladdin.
This is CBS.
Bill Hotshot Stewart hasn't seen his high school teammates for 20 years. Looks like a stroll-light night.
Looks like a stroll-light night. Looks like a stroll-light night. When things are going right. Looks like a stroll-light night. Looks like a stroll-light.
Stroll-Light, a great tasting beer that doesn't fill you up.
Looks like a stroll-light night when good times come along.
Oh, you want to make a deposit?
You bet, $30. Yeah, it's our McCulloch rebate money.
McCulloch? You mean McCulloch chainsaws?
Yeah, with McCulloch's rebates, you can save up to $30 on gas and electric saws.
What do beavers need a chainsaw for?
We're building a lake house.
A lake house?
With a fireplace and a hot tub.
A hot tub?
Yeah.
Sounds romantic.
Say, anyone ever tell you have great teeth? I think she likes you, Barney.
Get a McCulloch with chain break and get a rebate at your local McCulloch dealer.
WBAY-TV, Channel 2, Green Bay.
CBS Sports coverage of today's game is sponsored by the twin-action Norelco Rotatrack Razor and by Chevrolet, who invite you to take charge of a new Chevrolet car or truck at your Chevrolet dealers now.
Johnny Morris. We are back in Menominee, Wisconsin, where Stout has the ball, 2nd and 3. And another first down, Todd Zimmerman, the lead back, number 32, the senior from Cedarburg, has given Stout another first down. They have the lead, 16-7, as we have just begun the fourth period of play. Sophomore quarterback Glenn Myshak
taking the signal in, and obviously he's going to try and keep this ball, I think, on the ground a little bit. They've been making the ground game go off the option, and that's what they're going to do, whether it be the belly or the rollout.
Stout has passed for only 57 yards. Myshak is 4 for 9. He keeps the ball and now pitches. Jesse Hughes has been running well all afternoon as that trailing back takes it over midfield close to another first down.
Now, wasn't that a nice decision by Myshak, number 10, the quarterback? Let's take a look at how this wishbone works. There's Myshak coming out with the snap, puts it in the belly of the up back. Then here he waits to see how the defensive end covers and then pitches if he's covered, pitches out to the wide back, and he had him in a bind, and it's a big gain for Stout. And if he does it that way all the time, you can't stop the play. It's almost impossible to stop it.
Bill Pluker finally pushed him out. Hughes has now rushed for 100 yards today on 13 carries. Zimmerman straight ahead to the 45-yard line as Stout starts to grind it out again. Bob Conklin on the tackle, number 62, with Steve England, number 52. A pickup of 4.5. Jesse Hughes, a 100-yard day. Playing somewhat in the shadow of Bob Johnson normally for Stout, but they've used him effectively, and he has been ready for the big game on television. My shot.
There's the
Johnson.
block.
Good block by Hughes. Johnson running hard. And he has finally stopped inside the 35-yard line of Oshkosh. And an Oshkosh player down out near the 45-yard line at the line of scrimmage. Getting up slowly is Bob Conklin. England and Mark Herman were in on that last tackle after the first down gain by Johnson.
And this is the classic case. Let's watch Myshak, number 10. Fakes to Zimmerman. Now he comes, as soon as he gets a commitment from the end, he pitches out to Johnson, and Hughes is out front with the perfect block. Johnson turns it up the field, and he's pushing towards about 130 yards now, finally, before a host of Oshkosh players bring him down. But they're really making that wishbone option go. Now he watches. Now the quarterback's got to have a quick mind and make quick decisions. He'll have to take the punishment after the pitch, but he does. He's durable.
First down for Stout. 13:34 remaining regulation time. Zimmerman hit immediately, and it was Van Dam, Henry Van Dam, the senior from Grafton, Wisconsin, who made the tackle. No gain on the play. Well, they're going to give him about a yard.
And you have to wonder, that time, you could tell, Myshak could tell that play wasn't going to work, but he gave it to him anyway, just to keep him honest with the up back, because they've been running so many wide.
They felt they could go wide on Oshkosh today, and most of their good gains have come that route, but you think back to the big run by Zimmerman that set up the field goal up the middle. The big run by Hughes that led to the touchdown. Zimmerman with the fake, and Myshak running wide himself gets to the 30-yard line. Picked up about 3 yards, maybe 4 on the play, where Steve England pulled him down.
Let's see, we have Hughes and Johnson both over 100 yards rushing, right?
Well, we'll check on
yes,
that. Hughes
is.
we know for sure, and Johnson, yes, also.
So they're both over 100. Zimmerman has, how many does Zimmerman have? We could have three runners with over 100 yards.
That's
before
right.
very
Zimmerman
long.
is at 97 unofficially.
So you might say the rushing game is going.
I would say it is. It is 3rd down and 6 for Wisconsin Stout. And this time it's Hughes' turn, and Hughes cuts inside one tackler, gets to the 15. Scott Brzezinski finally got him. He made a great move on Mike Hughes, the cornerback who came up to force, number 45.
You do for me what I do for you. This time it was Bob Johnson. 22 is out front of Hughes this time, and watch the Johnson's block, number 20 through, as he takes another Hughes down, and Jesse Hughes gets through there and takes it on down the field. Now, you talk about buttering your bread, right?
They are making this wishbone work to perfection. Everybody contributing and everybody having some of the fun. They've got Kramer out to the right. Myshak, the quarterback, moving the team effectively. The sophomore from West Dallas.
Oh, it's going to work again.
Pitch to Johnson. He one-hands that pitch out. Now he's trapped. And Oshkosh stacks him up at the line of scrimmage, and he saved a loss by sheer second effort. A lot of Titans around him. 11:36 remaining in the 4th quarter. Jorgensen and Rusinski combining to stop Bob Johnson, who actually struggled for a yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 9. Now Livingston comes in and Johnson comes out, so they have 2 wide receivers. Well, I'll make it Kramer coming out.
No, let's go.
Lauby goes in for Johnson at running back. Livingston in for Kramer at wide receiver. And now there is a timeout called by Stout. And so Glenn Myshak coming over to talk things over with Bob Kamish on 2nd and 9. They hold the lead 16-7.
Introducing the incredible flexible fabric bandage.
When you have to move like this, you need a bandage that moves with you.
New flexible fabric bandage is made of a breathable, elastic fabric. So it flexes when you flex and stretches when you stretch.
When you have to move like this, you need a bandage that moves with you.
Try new flexible fabric bandage from Band-Aid brand. It moves with you, so it stays with you.
We are USA 1, and USA 1 is taking charge by launching 1983 with the most exciting offer in automotive history. Buy or order any new Chevy Chevette, Citation, full-size C10 pickup, love truck, or standard S10 pickup by November 15th, and get a round-trip ticket for two wherever Eastern Airlines flies, in the U.S., Canada, Mexico, Bermuda, Bahamas, or the Caribbean. Tickets good for a full year. There's never been an offer like it before.
Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris back on this beautiful fall afternoon in Menominee, Wisconsin. And look at those rushing stats for Stout. There is head coach of Oshkosh, Dave Hochtritt, saying, boy, I don't think we've been doing too well against the run today. And the latest update on the Brewers, got a cheer here when it was announced moments ago. They lead 4-1 over the Orioles in the 7th inning. It is 2nd and 9 for Stout. Quick pass, Livingston, touchdown. Pretty play by Wisconsin Stout. The Blue Devils have widened the margin. 22-7.
Perfect play by Myshak and Livingston. They had been running that type of action for so long, up and down the football field, and you're bound to set up a pass sooner or later. Let's watch
Livingston,
Myshak.
the freshman from Crystal, Minnesota.
Right there. There's the fake, and the pitch is coming Croc on this quick slant, wide open, touchdown Stout. And here's that fancy extra point formation coming up.
So Stout does it as well as Oshkosh, but they're going to elect to kick it. Clay Vagert ready to go. He's got a field goal and an extra point to his credit, and he adds another. Clay Vagert from Chippewa Falls. And Stout has now taken a commanding lead with 11:09 to play in regulation time. Unbeaten and 4th ranked. UW-Stout 23, Oshkosh 7.
We are USA 1. And number 1 is taking charge in high-technology transportation. With new generation Chevrolets like Celebrity. Taking charge in production techniques. With the new high-compression electronic fuel-injected Cavalier. And taking over the streets with the electrifying Camaro. Chevrolet, America's sales leader, is taking it all to the limit. USA 1 is taking charge.
How did your muffler sound before you came to Kmart K-Care?
Brum, brum.
I don't know how a muffler sounds.
Sound like a motorcycle? It isn't. It's my car.
Quiet your noisemaker now with the Arrestor Plus at a net installed price of $18.88 after you receive a $5 mail-in rebate.
Let Kmart K-Care take care of you.
It was thick.
Just smooth.
The American Football Coaches Association endorses ethical recruiting standards and supports the student-athlete search for academic and athletic excellence. Join the AFCA's efforts to support and practice ethical conduct in recruitment of student-athletes.
Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris back here in Menominee, Wisconsin, where Todd Miles, a freshman from Whitewater, Wisconsin, is about to kick it off with Wisconsin Stout holding a 23-7 lead. 16-yard touchdown from Glenn Myshak to John Livingston, providing the last score for Stout. This is Plaskowitz. Plaskowitz dipsy-doodling. Finally is hauled down by a swarm of Blue Devils at the 25-yard line. John Plaskowitz, a sophomore from West Milwaukee, on the return. Some pretty ladies in attendance here this afternoon. And the Wisconsin Stout went 63 yards in 9 plays, used up 3:54 on the clock, making it even more difficult for Oshkosh to come back.
Myshak with a 16-yard pass, and just remember, he is only a sophomore and had a few games as a freshman. They have a long time with that young man to be quarterback here at Stout.
From West Dallas, near Milwaukee. Meanwhile, Brad Hitt, the senior quarterback for Oshkosh, has his work cut out for him. Brad Westfall's been their top rusher today. The junior from Menasha picks up about 4 yards on the carry. San Diego in front of the Braves, 5-1 in the 7th inning. Braves have clinched at least a tie in their division of the National League. So there might be more baseball played.
What was that last Dodger score? Was what, 2-2? I think in the 4th.
2nd down and 6. and something wrong out there. Brad Hitt says, I better call timeout here and talk it over with Dave Hochtritt. And so, with a timeout on the field, 10:20 to go regulation time, it stands Stout 23 and Oshkosh 7.
The Blue Devils.
Tough Chevy trucks are taking charge. America's hottest-selling new-size pickup, Chevy S10, is now available in 2 new models, S10 Maxi Cab and S10 Blazer. Taking charge with the Instatrack 4-wheel drive system. Shift from freewheeling 2-wheel drive to 4-wheel drive high and back at any speed. Try that with Datsun or Toyota. Chevy S10. There's never been a lineup of trucks like it before. Tough Chevy trucks are taking charge.
Recently, a landmark football game was played. Landmark not because of the way it was played on the field, but because of the way it was played on TV. You see, this was the country's first network telecast transmitted over cables made up of hair-thin optical fibers. Cables which will eventually carry thousands of times more information without taking up any more space. G? No. GTE.
Next Saturday on CBS Sports, a classic coaches matchup. Joe Paterno's Nittany Lions face Bear Bryant's Crimson Tide, plus other regional excitement. Next Saturday on CBS Sports.
Coach Dave Hochtritt of Oshkosh on the sidelines, looking for their first victory and looking up a long wall at the moment. 23-7 lead as Bob Kamish, the coach of Stout. Got to feel pretty good, Johnny.
Yeah, Hochtritt used to be a defensive lineman in Northern Colorado. He didn't look that big, does he? They must have a small team in Colorado.
Well, in northern Colorado,
yeah.
Anyway. Second down and 6.
There's that play.
And it is the quarterback, Brad Hitt, sneaking straight ahead. There's what play?
They had just the one remaining back. They had Gauger up here on the line of scrimmage, so they have, let's see if they do it again. It's going to be a passing formation. It's something to offset that radar defense, which they haven't used that much today, but we're going to see it right now, I bet you.
Okay.
Okay, and let's see if we can show it.
No,
they're not going to do it. Me and my big mouth.
And it's first down for Oshkosh at the 35-yard line. Thompson in motion behind the ball. They give it to the lead back. That is Westfall, who's been a busy man for Oshkosh in the rushing department today, number 25, the junior from Menasha. There are 9 teams in the Wisconsin State University Conference, and at the moment, La Crosse, with a victory yesterday, stands 3-0 atop the conference. But, of course, if Stout were to win here today, they would move into a tie for the conference lead.
Sooner or later, Oshkosh is going to have to go to the air. They've run the ball 4 straight times. When you're down 23-7, that's not too hip.
2nd and 6, and Hitt wants to throw. Hitt deep. Intended for the tight end Stelzel, back on the coverage, the linebacker O'Connor, number 50. It goes incomplete. Of course, we mentioned La Crosse holding the lead in the conference. Joel Williams is a graduate of La Crosse, the linebacker for Atlanta.
Okay, there's the radar defense. See, everybody's up, even the interior linemen. Now you're going to see the linebackers drop off into their coverage that time. And you see number 50, O'Connor, goes back there. He's got to cover that back coming down the sidelines, and he does a pretty good job of it. That was at the top of your screen, and the coverage was there. A lot of people down the field, 4 dark jerseys.
It is 3rd down for the white-clad Titans of Oshkosh. Brad Hitt has time, and he finds Thompson, the wingback, for a first down. Out near midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Todd Shue made the tackle, number 55. Kurt Wenzel, who's been around the ball all day, also got in on it. Flag down, however, and the penalty is against the Titans of Oshkosh.
One of the few penalties this afternoon.
Now, we talked a lot about Wisconsin Stout, named after State Senator James H. Stout. Oshkosh, founded back in 1871, was formerly a state teachers college, an 11,000 enrollment there, and a city of 53,000. Oshkosh.
Offside. Offense.
And you might have found it hard to believe, 9 schools in a Wisconsin State University Conference. Stout, River Falls, La Crosse, Stevens Point, Eau Claire, Whitewater, Oshkosh, Platteville.
There is that formation. See, now you've got a tight end who is Gauger, then you got the 2 wide receivers here, and then another receiver out with 1 back.
All right, and Hitt will throw from it. Hitt to the wingback, Thompson, complete. And a gain of maybe 7 yards on the play. It will be short of a first down. Another flag is down on that 3rd and 11 situation.
Maybe there's something wrong with that fancy formation.
Well, it's offside against Stout. So it maybe baffled them enough for somebody to jump a little early. So they'll get 3rd down over again, and it'll make it 3rd and about 6. The ball at the 40-yard line.
Blue, offside.
Referee Bill Coughlin with the offside call against Stout. And remember, next Saturday, CBS Sports will bring you the 64th running of the Jockey Club Gold Cup for 3-year-olds and also the Champagne for 2-year-olds. 5 o'clock Eastern Time on CBS Sports from Belmont Park.
Same formation. The running back is the tight end now. Gogger, number 43.
Hit,
there he
up.
is.
And he's got Gogger open, and Gogger has a completion and a first down. Gary Gogger out of the backfield, lined up in that formation, as Johnny said, on the line of scrimmage. The sophomore from Oshkosh North. First down for the Titans, 8:27. They've got to make something happen in a hurry here. 23-7, Stout leads it.
He thought he was going to get a rest, but he's back in the game. Gary Gogger, now he'll go up to the, on the right side, the tight end position with 2 receivers outside of him and a split end on the other side with 1 back left.
Thompson and Wild are wide to the right. It rolls a little bit to the right, gets some pressure, and he's pulled down. John Hagedorn, a junior, number 77 from Eau Claire. Loss of 5 on the play.
And Frank Lorenzen was in on that play. His hit was going to go to Gogger again, but they put the rush on and forced him to come inside, and you'll see number 66, Frank Lorenzen there, cutting back, and then you mentioned, there it is, number 66, and who was that other one?
77 Hagedorn. Pulled him down.
Yeah.
So it is 2nd and 15. They're staying with it here. 7:49 and counting. Stout going for their 5th victory of the season against no losses. And that is Russ Wolf. And a loose ball rolling out to the 50-yard line. And it appears that it was recovered by Oshkosh. And it might have been whistled dead before that ball came loose. Looks like they're marking it back where Wolf went down initially. Was grabbed by Ted Torno for Oshkosh. It'll be 3rd down and about 10.5. Another big play circumstance here for Oshkosh because the clock is very much working against them. 7:05 and counting. They've got Thompson, number 8, Wild, number 20, out to the right. Brad Hitt, who had a big game against Stout last year, having his problems now as he is sacked and dropped by Frank Lorenzen inside the Oshkosh 30. A senior from Grand Meadow, Minnesota. There are a number of players from Minnesota because Menominee is only 50 miles from the Minneapolis-St. Paul area here in the northwestern part of the state of Wisconsin.
I think they had a screen going, but Lorenzen came on around there, and nobody held him up, and they weren't able to set the screen off to the left side. That's what Brad Hitt had in mind. He couldn't get away, and Lorenzen with a big play. He's had several big plays. Frank Lorenzen, number 66, and Oshkosh will have to punt.
Wild gets a good kick away. It's going to be fielded by number 30, and that is John Velo. And Velo gets it to the 32-yard line for Stout, and they will have pretty good field position. They have the football. They have 6:10 remaining to kill, and they have the lead. 23-7 here in the 4th quarter.
Roger Staubach for Rolaids.
How do you spell relief? I spell relief R-O-L-A-I-D-S. You're at the fire station, you eat in a hurry, and you eat a lot. You want to make sure you get your share.
For acid indigestion, R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
Rolaids really does spell relief.
Like a sponge, Rolaids antacid medicine consumes 100% of the acid required to give millions 100% relief.
I spell it R-O-L-A-I-D-S. For millions of Americans, Rolaids spells 100% relief.
We are USA 1, and USA 1 is taking charge by launching 1983 with the most exciting offer in automotive history. Buy or order any new Chevy Chevette, Citation, full-size C10 pickup, love truck, or standard S10 pickup by November 15th. And get a round-trip ticket for two wherever Eastern Airlines flies. In the U.S., Canada, Mexico, Bermuda, Bahamas, or the Caribbean. Tickets good for a full year. There's never been an offer like it before.
Let's go, Blue! Let's go!
Ryan and Johnny Morris admiring the pom-pom girls. They're at Stout. Happy with the way things are going for their team. Cheerleaders come up from Oshkosh. They did. Okay. Well, they've been working down the other end from where we're located. Terry Levinsky, meanwhile, has come in at quarterback for Stout, number 9. And he keeps on his first play from scrimmage for a gain of about 2. And Levinsky, freshman from Dousman, Wisconsin, stopped by Steve England. And they spotted as a 1-yard gain for Terry Levinsky, getting some quarterback time for Stout.
And we have a new backfield, too. We have some new people in the backfield.
Okay, Pat Reed, number 33, a sophomore from Eau Claire, is the lead back. Hank Moen, number 26, a sophomore from Green Bay. And Keith Lauby, number 45, a sophomore from Owen, Wisconsin. Again, Levinsky keeps it. He's got some running room. Now pitching it to Lauby, and Lauby is knocked out of bounds near the marker over the 40-yard line. And he was knocked out of bounds by senior Don Warmington, number 40 for Oshkosh. Well, those of you following these pennant races, Milwaukee leading Baltimore, still 4-1. They're now in the 7th inning. And the Dodgers and the Giants are tied at 2-2 in the 7th. Who would have figured the Giants would be playing a game like this in the final game of the season? San Diego 5-1 over the Braves in the 8th inning. Zimmerman is back in as the lead back for Stout. He has the ball, trying to get the first down on 3rd and a long one. It'll be close.
Looks like he's a little bit short.
Some defensive substitutions coming in for the Titans.
So it's going to be 4th and about a half a yard. They looked like they were going to go for it, but now they bring in the punting team.
4th down and not very much, but it is 5:24 remaining in the 4th quarter with a 23-7 lead for unbeaten Wisconsin Stout, ranked number 4 in the nation. And they have one too many players on the field on their punting unit, with Cross back there to, Galiotto back to punt the ball for Stout, but they had to take a timeout.
At the end of 7, Brewers 4, Orioles 1.
And they just announced that Brewers score here, and of course, Wisconsin fans, yes, a timeout has been called on the field by Stout as they had a little mix-up on their 4th down punting unit. At 12 players on the field. That's on the other network that they've got 12 players operating.
Okay.
They're going to measure now. They called for a measurement. But that timeout was called by Stout. And Bob Kamer said, let's have a look at that here. Get ourselves organized together, too.
I think he called a little bit too late to get out of it being an official timeout.
Yeah, well, they had evidently signaled it was a Stout timeout. That would apparently not matter a whole lot.
And they're going to go for it now.
So now, with that half foot to go that was there before, they've decided to try and pick up the first down, keep the ball, use up the clock. They lead 23-7. The ball is at the Stout 43-yard line. Dave Hochtritt looking on with concern. His team needs a win here today to get into the conference race. They're 1-2 overall, but 0-2 in the Wisconsin State Conference.
Quarterback sneak.
Sneak it in for the first down. So that turned into a good move and a good call by Coach Bob Kamish and company. Terry Levinsky going for the first down. Well, of course, when our football activities are completed on CBS this afternoon, we'll have our usual fine Sunday night lineup. 60 Minutes leads it off, followed by Archie Bunker's Place, Gloria, the Jeffersons, One Day at a Time, Trapper John M.D., something for everybody in the laughs department, tonight on CBS. First down for Stout, 4:50 and counting. Nelson Field, Menominee, Wisconsin. And that was Zimmerman, who has had himself some afternoon. Todd Zimmerman going 5 yards to make it 2nd and 5.
It's getting pretty close to our time to pick our Chevy player of the game for each team, isn't it?
Yeah, time down to 4:28. The clock's still running. And we see that dropping into the area, beautiful Lake Menominee is a hot air balloon on this beautiful fall afternoon. The give is to Laube. Loose ball recovered by Oshkosh. And the Titans not about to quit. They've got 4:08 on the clock. It stops there with the turnover. And it's grabbed by number 73, Scott Rosinski. Although, no, it looks like Mike Hughes came up with the football. Mike Hughes, number 45, the freshman from Plymouth for Oshkosh. So the Titans will have an opportunity here to get some more points on the board.
Okay, they're going with their special formation. Gogger is at the tight end spot, so he'll probably flare out. This play has worked for them twice already.
Brad hit, and it's complete to Thompson, the wingback. It takes the tackle, but holds on. And a gain of about 8 yards. So it will be 2nd and 2 for the Titans.
You got timeout? Official timeout.
An official timeout on the field here at Nelson Field.
For a measurement.
Well, it looked like from up here, they're on the near sideline with all of the players of the Stout substitutes standing there, but it didn't appear to me that he got 10 yards when he was knocked out of bounds. But, of course, for the Titans, a big measurement. If they can get a first down here at the 38.
Just short. You got about 2 inches there.
And 4:02 to go. If they can move it on in from here quickly, not using up too much time, they're still in the ball game.
There sure is a mismatch of bodies here. I would say that the home team, Stout, has about 80 players dressed for this game, and there's about 40 for Oshkosh.
Yeah, I think 45, 46 players on the traveling squad came up by bus from Oshkosh and stayed in Eau Claire last night.
Each in their own bed?
Each in their own bed, right?
And no 2 people to a bed like they're normal because they were on TV this week. They wanted them to feel good. Rested.
Stout had a special team dinner last night at a local restaurant called Jake's that they enjoyed, get themselves ready for the game. So at a 2nd and short, and Brad Head has the first down over the 35 to the 33-yard line. And it is a first down with 3:58 on the clock. No huddle here for Oshkosh. They don't want to use up any more time. Brian Kellett made the stop, getting some defensive time for the radar defense. Wisconsin Stout Blue Devils. And takes a hit, and his ball intended for Thompson is short. 2nd down.
Jay McDonald was in on that tackle to give a hit as he got rid of the ball, so he didn't get enough mustard on it. Big difference in the rushing yardage, and that's, of course, been the story of the ball game. Look at that. Wisconsin Stout, 508 yards total, 191 for Wisconsin Oshkosh. That's total yardage.
Unofficially, Hughes with 113 yards rushing, Johnson with 114, and Zimmerman with 102. All for Stout. Hit the pass out to Wolf. Russ Wolf forced out of bounds near the 30-yard line of Stout as the Titans of Oshkosh trying desperately to get it into the end zone. They trail 23-7. Rod Miesenborg getting some defensive time as well for Stout. Forced them out of bounds. It is 3rd down and 7 to go for a first down from the 32-yard line of Wisconsin Stout. Brad hit the quarterback, the senior from Winona, Minnesota.
He's going to go to Gogger again.
And he's complete to Gogger. Gogger diving for that extra yardage and may have got himself the first down with that effort. See where they spot it? Yes, he did. Good play by Gary Gogger. Jeff Coleman, number 59, on the tackle.
Stout is not able to defense that play. You see the 3 men to the left, and Gogger's the tight end. He just goes down a couple of steps and flares to the outside while the 2 outside men clear for him. And it's working to perfection so far. There he goes again. Now they've got it covered.
Brad hit and intended for Gogger again. He couldn't hold on, but yes, they had it covered. He would have been hit immediately. Number 14, Rod Miesenberg was there again along with number 59, and that is Jeff Coleman. So he was going nowhere. Now it is 5-1 Milwaukee in the 8th inning. And Brewers fans can relax a little bit, maybe. The way the Orioles have been pounding Milwaukee pitching, I guess they can't relax till the game's over. But they're not pounding it today. Second down. 2nd and 10 to go for Oshkosh. Pressure on hit. The pass is off, intended for Jim Wild, incomplete. A flag down at the line of scrimmage. 3:20 on the clock.
Well, you'd have to say that Oshkosh is in some real trouble now, because even if they score, they've taken quite a bit of time on this drive. They're down to 3:20 left in this football game, and a penalty apparently against Oshkosh.
Yes, it looked like illegal motion signaled against Oshkosh by referee Bill Coughlin, as Dave Hochtritt, the head coach at Oshkosh, a little disconsolate now. His team came in as the underdogs against unbeaten Stout. Stout 4-0, but they had won 3 of those games by just the margin of a field goal. They hadn't really dominated people. And today they started slowly.
Procedure. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Oshkosh. Down 2.
In this part of the country, offense is offense. You notice that? That's the way the fellow Canadians of mine say it, too. We heard Dave Hochtritt say that the other day. It reminded us out in this part of the country. The O in offense is offense. 3:20 on the clock. Brad hit, trying to make something happen. He's under pressure again. It's tipped and taken in by number 25. That is Brad Westfall, off the hands of Jim Wild, the wide receiver. Another flag is down, however.
Looks like they're going to call holding against Oshkosh.
Holding indeed, Johnny. And tough luck for the Titans of Oshkosh. Alert play by Westfall. Picking off that pass off the hands of his teammate Jim Wild.
Number 73, Scott Brzezinski.
Well, they're announcing our Chevy players of the game. I guess we better do the same. Chevrolet player of the game from Stout. We selected Jesse Hughes, who rushed for more than 100 yards. And he had an outstanding game. And the player of the game from Oshkosh is Scott Brzezinski, who we thought was outstanding defensively all afternoon on that defensive line. A check in the amount of $1,000 will be donated by Chevrolet to each school's general scholarship fund to further assist students in all chosen fields of academic endeavor. Congratulations to Scott Brzezinski and Jesse Hughes of their respective schools. 2nd and long for Oshkosh. And that is Russ Wolf, the senior from Two Rivers, playing on a bad ankle, but playing right to the end here. And what appears to be a losing cause for the Titans. 3rd down and 20 for Oshkosh, 2:36 and counting. Brad hit off to Wolf, and Wolf eludes one tackler, gets out of bounds, and runs into his own teammates over on the sideline. Brian Kellett forced him out, number 61, a freshman from Franklin, Wisconsin for Stout.
So they're down to the finale now, 4th and about at least 20.
2:27 remaining. Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris, it's been our pleasure to be a part of this Division III Sunday afternoon on CBS Sports from beautiful Menominee, Wisconsin. I think we ought to go fishing or deer hunting when the game's over. That's what everybody else is doing around here this time of year. Hit. Gets out of traffic and runs the ball, and Brad Hitt running well and dives into the 10-yard line. These Titans will simply not quit. They are effectively a beaten football team, barring some miracles now, but they're doing their best. They've got the football and they're moving it. Despite a couple of penalty setbacks, it's now first down. They spot it at the 12-yard line of Stout.
And actually, you got to give a lot of credit to Brad Hitt, directing traffic, gets down there, and right when he got close to the first down marker, he put his head down, took the dive over to make sure that he got it. Good individual effort by Brad Hitt.
The ball at the 12 of Wisconsin Stout. The Titans of Oshkosh want to try and at least get one more score here on the telecast. It is first down. And they loft it to Jim Wild, and he can't quite get to it. Jim Wild trying to get to that corner. The pylon in the corner, and two defenders on him. The pass just a little overthrown. John Velo on the coverage, a sophomore from Chicago Heights, Illinois.
They took a page out of the pros there, where you get those wide receivers and just run him down the field and just hope that the offensive receiver will spot the ball before the defender. Here it is, up and over, but just a little bit too far, as Wild, I believe, probably would have been out of bounds had he caught it anyway.
Brad Hitt leading out the Oshkosh Titans here on 2nd and 10. And Hitt up the middle, complete to the wingback, Thompson. Thompson gets to the 3-yard line. 1:38 and counting on the clock. And we thank the people here in Menominee for welcoming Johnny and I and our crew, including our engineering boss, Walter Pyle, who helped to get that microwave dish set up and throw this picture up to the satellite.
He can run it.
Here comes Hitt, and Hitt will score. Good play by Brad Hitt. Lugging it around the right side, and Oshkosh has scored their second touchdown of the afternoon with 1:17 remaining. Brad Hitt rolling out and taking it in. Let's see it again, Johnny.
Brad Hitt, good decision here. He got the inside block there. Instead of throwing the ball, he just ran it on into the end zone, and there was nothing that number 11, Troy Bargender, could do anything about it. Brad Hitt, as we're on the extra point now, and they made the extra point.
Well, they went for two.
I didn't know which play to describe there.
Well, we were showing you the replay. Steve Menzel took it in for a 2-point conversion, and so they turned it into an 8-point touchdown as scrappy Oshkosh has closed the margin to 23-15. There's that extra point play.
Yeah, the little fancy-do there, and he took it in for the 2-point conversion, so it is 23-15. So actually, we got a situation where they could tie the game, right?
Yes, we do.
Kick an onside kick. They recovered the onside kick. Get the 2-point conversion, so they still got a chance at it.
On any given Sunday.
That's right. Who said this game was over?
And some of the fans starting to leave, but perhaps realizing now that an onside kick could give Oshkosh a chance to tie. So the 2-point conversion was a big play for them, and they delivered.
Yes, the fans are leaving, but all of them have their heads turned back towards the field, so they're not sure they want to leave yet.
They need another 2-point conversion to tie things up, but they sure scored that one handily. But they've got to get the ball, and then they got to get it in the end zone, all in 1:17. It is Menzel kicking off, and there's the onside try.
He's got it.
Oh, it was in the hands of an Oshkosh player. He could not hold on, and Stout has the ball. It appeared to me that number 64 had a chance.
Yep.
That was Chris Hackbarth, and he had a chance to get the ball.
He had it right in his hands because the ball hit the ground there and then went right straight up in the air as Stout was not too aggressive going for the ball. And there he is. He had it right in his hands, and he couldn't hang on. He was hit just as he was tucking it away. But that was very close to being Oshkosh's ball.
Tough break for Oshkosh. They made a great try, and what a finish we would have had they been able to get the ball. But Pat Reed covered it for Stout, reserve running back, and with 1:14 on the clock, Stout, leading 23-15, has the football. First down at their own 45. Levinsky, the quarterback, gives it to number 26, Hank Moen, the sophomore from Green Bay, who picks up 4 on the carry out the left side.
Hank Moen, he was the young man that, well, I'll tell you this story in just a minute.
All right, we have a timeout on the field with 1:07 to play regulation time. Wisconsin Stout leads at 23-15.
What's wrong with the computer?
Tape drive. The Army's most technical skills are also the ones most in demand. But now if you qualify, there's a way to reserve the skill you want up to 12 months before you go in. It's called the Delayed Entry Program, and it guarantees you the training you want.
Be all that you can be, 'cause we need you.
Okay, it's up.
In the Army.
If your confidence has suffered a shock,
Confidence. We install it at Sears.
right now get Sears heavy-duty shocks. They're on sale for only $888 each, installed. And save 25% on Sears SuperGuard steel-belted radials with a limited warranty for 40,000 miles.
At Sears Tire and Auto Centers, we give you more than a good deal. We install confidence. You can count on Sears.
Dave Hochtritt must be feeling right now, hey, I could have used a little break there. If Hackbarth had been able to hold on to the football, who knows what could have happened. But Stout has it, 1:07 remaining. It is 2nd down and 7. Levinsky continues at quarterback. And again, it is Moen, the ball carrier, Hank Moen. And he has stopped short of the first down after a gain of about 5.
Hank Moen is the young player we saw yesterday when we were out at practice. Everybody had their football pants on, and he had those, what do you call those, doctor's pants that you wear?
Yeah, those green, well, I forget what the term is, but yeah, you wear them around hospitals.
Yeah, he had those hospital pants on, and that was his practice pants.
Yes, and I think it was you or somebody who suggested that maybe that meant he was a pre-med student, which is not the case. It was our producer, David Dinkins, who just told me over the headset that was his line. We have 30 seconds remaining. And we have 3rd and 2 with 25 seconds and counting, and Stout trying to use it all up, and they are called for delay. The clock is stopped at 24 seconds, and they'll be backed up 5 yards. And so it has been a Division III day in Menominee, Wisconsin, with 2 teams of the smaller, slower players in college football giving their all here today. Stout trying to remain unbeaten and high on the rankings of the National Division III ratings, and Oshkosh Titans trying to get a victory in the conference and get themselves back into the race, but it looks like they will now be 0-3 in the conference standing. And just diving back is Levinsky, 20 seconds, and counting down. Victory is in the hands of Wisconsin Stout of Menominee, Wisconsin. The final score will be Wisconsin Stout 23, Wisconsin Oshkosh 15. On a perfect fall afternoon for college football in Menominee, Wisconsin. Tim Ryan for Johnny Morris saying so long from Menominee, and returning you now to our studios in New York, and Brent Musburger.
Of course, we've still got more action to come, but let me quickly update a major story in baseball. The Dodgers have fallen behind the Giants 5-2. Joe Morgan has hit a 3-run homer. Now let's find out what Occidental might be doing against the University of San Diego. Here's Dick Stockton and Hank Stram.